Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. It was a 60-minute fight for the Blue Jackets last night at Nationwide. Home opener for the CBJ against the New Jersey Devils. Columbus failed to capitalize on 5 power play opportunities. New Jersey scored twice with the man advantage en route to a 3-2 win. Kirill Marchenko tied things at 1 with a breakaway goal in the second. The Devils made it 2-1 2 minutes later. Both teams traded empty netters in the third. Jackets are back at Nationwide Thursday hosting the Avalanche. In the NFL last night, Jake Moody's last-second 38-yard field goal pushed the Bears past the Commanders 25-24. Monday in Atlanta, Bijan Robinson ran all over the Bills en route to a 24-14 win. And in college football, Ohio State's at Wisconsin Saturday at 3:30. OSU's Ryan Day will hold his weekly press conference at noon today. We'll carry those comments live on The Fan. Coach Day will also join a special Tuesday edition of Buckeye Roundtable at 6:30. This update is sponsored by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3 tons to get through. The Jackets' home opener was entertaining, but fell flat. We'll get to that in about 18 minutes from now. Ryan Day coming up at 9:30 as they start to shift their attention to a visit to Madison with a Wisconsin team that is absolutely reeling. The Real Truth hits at 10 o'clock. Will Penn State be the best job that is open in college football this offseason? We will get to that. Uncle Dom coming by at 10:30. As is typical, 11 o'clock, we blitz the NFL. At 11:30, our good buddy John Breech from CBS, national NFL writer, will join us in what has been a pretty wild last couple of weeks in the National Football League. Speaking of wild, finishing up, didn't have time to tell this story yesterday. We had too much to get to, too much real work to get to. So this is Saturday night, finishing up the college football games, and as the USC game is getting out of control, as they're beating the brakes off of Michigan, you start to wander to see what else is on. As is well documented, I'm a very famous and I think elite flipper, and so I was looking for something to kind of keep the attention going a little bit. Wasn't quite ready to go to bed, and ironically enough, I ended up in the Showtime world. And what did I find there but a little movie called Heat? So Heat's on, and I thought I hadn't seen that in a little bit. I'll paratroop in on a couple of scenes of this. And as a rule of thumb, if you are making a movie and at some point the following line is said, I'm in. And that line is, we're here for the bank's money, not your money. Any movie that has that line, sold. You're here for the bank's money, not my money, I'm in. Let's do it. So that I got there right at the time of that and the big scene, and away we go. So now we're matriculating, though, well into the 11 o'clock. So we have something that I abhor in our neighborhood, which is a neighborhood text chain. I suppose these things are necessary. It's an easiest way to just kind of let everybody know if things are happening in the neighborhood. And by neighborhood, there are 12 houses in here. So the entire street is maybe front to back. I don't even think it's a mile round trip. But there's 12 houses in here. Everybody knows everybody, and that's the way that it goes. So there's a neighborhood house text chain. So a text lights up on my phone at like 11, I'd say like 11:10, something like that. And one of the neighbors asks, is somebody throwing a party? Okay. Now these are all like mostly like, there's a couple of really young kids in here, but not much in terms of adolescent age, and certainly not any really young folks in general. It's mostly old people in here, or older people. And so usually when they have like a party, they're like entertaining clients or entertaining, their partners, that type of stuff. That's usually what happens. So I hear from my wife, Bo, you better get up here. Okay. So I come upstairs. There are, and this is not an ounce of exaggeration, I would say roughly 125 cars lining the street. There are kids everywhere, high school kids everywhere. They're all over the street. They're in the driveway. They're everywhere. So our neighbor at the end of the street, their kids go to private school. So most of the other homecomings were a couple of weeks ago. So it was apparently their homecoming this weekend. And it's becoming abundantly clear to me that the entire school is at his house for the post-homecoming party. I don't believe that he invited the entire school to his house for the post-homecoming party. But as is with most things with kids, word travels, right? And so there are kids stumbling around. They're bailing in. So then I ask you guys this question, and neither of you are fathers at this point, and so I would ask you this. If you're in the situation of these parents and you have 125-ish cars parked on the street that can they are jammed in. It's both sides, bumper to bumper, the whole way. What is your course of action at this point on something that has clearly gotten out of control? If you're looking for a visual, if you've seen the 80s John Hughes classic 16 Candles, think that. What's the course of action if you're the homeowner and the parent?
What time did you...
11... It's probably 11:30 at this point, 11:40 even. It's out of control.
Impacting anybody's ability to get out of the neighborhood?
Yes, it would if you wanted to. Now, I'm in. So
right, if it's not impacting anybody's direct ability to get out of the neighborhood, if it's not impacting anybody's ability to get to bed, is it? Then I'm calling. Then I'm sending a note to the police department.
If you're the owner, you're calling the cops?
If I'm in the position of I can't fall asleep because of these damn kids.
Oh, no. I'm saying if your child is the one who invited the whole school back, what do you do?
Are the parents there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was assuming it was a non-parental supervised party. I'm texting the parents saying, can we wrap this up?
Vic?
So I think if I'm the parents and it's my house, I got to air traffic control this and get some of the people out of there, right?
Yeah, I start moving cars.
Like, there's only a select few that get to stay. Like, I talk with my kid and I'm like, hey, who's the group that you want here? The rest are going to have to go.
So a bubble pops up on the neighborhood text chain, and it's the guy whose child has done this. Unbeknownst to the parents, of course. Like, you know how these things go. My wife's going, what is going on? I'm like, I'll tell you what I think's going on. They probably were going to have a few kids over. Now all of a sudden the whole school came over.
And that happens a lot.
And it does. Yeah. Word travels and away you go. So he did what I thought I don't know if I would have thought to get to this point, but if you want to fix the situation right away, this is the choice. And I think it was the correct one. As a parent, I think he did the right thing. He called the cops on himself.
You can't fire me.
He called the cops on himself.
I quit.
So a bubble pops up in the text chain, and it just goes, I've called the cops on myself. They're going to clear it out. And they did. So 2 police officers came in here, got all the cars out. I text. So the next, big apologies. They felt terrible. And I'm like, dude, it happens. I've seen 16 Candles. This stuff happens. Don't worry about it. You're fine. But I just thought that is a hell of a way to handle it. And that's also one of the great ethoses we try to live by in this show, which is a man's got to know his limitations. And the limitations of a singular parent versus 200 high school kids, sometimes there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. And so as we finally, it was well after midnight by the time my wife was bouncing around off the walls. And so we're finally going to bed around midnight. She's like, that's going to be us. And I said, yeah, it's coming quick. We're going to be in those type of situations very quick.
Oh, I think you should have offered some parking. Like, hey, if they need some spots, we got a driveway.
Well, to be fair, I didn't offer it, but they parked there anyway. So
That's good on you not to have anything towed or have anything moved.
No,
also good on you to allow the homeowner to resolve the incident on their own. Because, yes, to your point, you're going to have those issues crop up. And maybe once or twice, you won't be home to deal with it.
That's right. Yeah. I just loved how proactive. Like in the text chain, the neighborhood text chain, I called the cops on myself. They're going to clear it out. And sure enough, they did. And so to make this all come full circle about how quickly all things go, NBC now in 8th grade, he's off this morning, 5:30 a.m. bus trip for the D.C. trip, the 8th grade D.C. trip. So, of course, they can't go to any of the museums because the government shut down, so they can't go to any of the museums. So to their credit, they pivoted pretty quickly. So they're doing like Mount Vernon and Gettysburg and the monuments and all that stuff. And I said, well, you'll have a good time. But it's crazy how quickly it all goes. And as we dropped him off at the bus this morning at like 5:45 in the morning, I said, we're going to blink and he's going to be the one with 200 cars in the lot. I mean, that's happening. So that was a little Saturday night, was a little bit of 16 candles here in the neighborhood. The Blue Jackets, it was entertaining. But the result did not come in a home opener. It's 1 of 82. How big of a deal can you make about it? But are there some things already cropping up that could be a little bit troubling? We will get into the home opener coming up next. We're off and running on a Tuesday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's officially fall at Firehouse Subs. The Thanksgiving turkey sub is back. This sub brings all the flavors of the Thanksgiving table into one crave-worthy bite. Stacked high with premium carved turkey, rich stuffing, and cranberry sauce. Add a side of warm, savory gravy for ultimate holiday comfort. Hurry to Firehouse Subs today and try the Thanksgiving turkey sub before it's gone. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last. Planning a tailgate or game day spread? Firehouse Subs Catering makes it easy to feed the whole crew.
Hey, it's Anthony. Wouldn't you want to drive into the new season with a brand new Honda from Germain Honda of Dublin? You can lease the 25 Honda Accord LX for just $199 a month or finance at 3.99% APR. Or the 26 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive, leasing from only $319 a month or finance from 4.99% APR. These fall deals are fantastic. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or you can shop online anytime at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
You know what my favorite place is to watch a game? The ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle and I are throwing a huge party for the Thursday night Steelers-Bengals game. We have tickets, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and dining credits to give out during the game at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Amazing food, huge screens, and prizes. That's a winning parlay. Can't wait to see you Thursday night. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter, he'll be there quick. I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Visit the Good Feet store today. Walk-ins are always welcome. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal. Report suspicious behavior and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another sunshiny day for us across central Ohio. Afternoon highs getting into the mid-70s, and then for tonight, mostly clear with overnight lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Wednesday will be mostly sunny. However, it will be significantly cooler as daytime highs only get in the mid to upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with a 10 weather impact forecast.
We're running around shirtless because hockey is back. It's Blue Jackets Week. Proud to be your flagship home for Jackets hockey. The Fan. We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
Jackets home opener last night, the blue carpet, all the pomp and circumstance, all of our friends at 10 TV doing all their work there. I love a home opener. I love all of the things that come with it. There's I love the introduction of every player, the first time in a building, sold out crowd, all of those things. It's one of 82, right? So you're not going to make too big of a deal about a win or a loss in one of those, because what we always try to do with the hockey around here is look at it in a 10-game tranche. Think of 10 games at a time. Like, what are things that are developing over 10 games, and then that's kind of who you are during that stretch, and can you flip it for the next 10? That's usually the best way to talk about whether it's baseball or hockey or NBA, rather than a singular game, unless there are games that pop up where it is top against top, talent equates games. Then that's a little bit different. We haven't had to do much of that with the Blue Jackets, obviously, during their 25 years here in town. But there is one thing that is kind of happening here 3 games in, and that is the special teams for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're not great. And in fact, when they are a man down, they've allowed 7 power play goals on 14 kill opportunities this year, including New Jersey going 2 for 2 last night on their power play. The Jackets were 0 for 5, meantime, on their power play. So special teams aren't working. As Jody informed me yesterday, that's when it's 5 on 4 or vice versa. So I was very appreciative of that. In terms of the big themes for this, though, I think the penalty kill is the one that you start to say, well, this is 3 in. It's no panic, but this obviously isn't where you need to be on that end of things. Bake, I know you have some thoughts and watched it very closely last night.
So you mentioned it's opening night and every player comes out to their own introduction and all that. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was interesting, and this just kind of made me think a little bit about the Jackets and their history and all of that. And when Boone comes out, everybody does the Boone. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of hard to tell with that. But the 2 players, in my estimation, that got the loudest pop last night, it wasn't Zach Werenski. It wasn't Adam Fantilli. Mm-hmm. One was Kirill Marchenko.
Okay.
And the other was Matthew Olivier.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was so interesting. Like, in Columbus, I feel like Columbus has always been an underdog city. And that underdog city that's trying to punch up and say, hey, we're in this next weight class. We're there with everybody else. So I feel like we love a third-line grinder type guy. We are a blue-collar city.
Yeah.
And we love, and that's what the inception of the Blue Jackets was, right? It was guys like Tyler Wright who were fighting and scratching and clawing every bit of the way. It was Kevin Dineen. It was Ron Tugnut. It was all these guys that nobody else wanted that you got. And, man, maybe they weren't the most skilled or the best team on the ice, but you knew, daggone it, that you were going to be black and blue after you played them, and they gave you 120%. And I feel like we still have that mentality as a city and almost like as an organization. Like we love, and listen, Boone Jenner's a great player, right? But he's not
a great captain, yeah.
Yeah, great captain. But Boone Jenner's not a Sidney Crosby or a Connor McDavid, a Brad Marchand. No. He's not in that realm of player. And I just think it's funny, like you've got, and I love that Carell got the love, and Carell has been awesome. Like there is I had no clue. I had no clue there was this level to his game.
No.
But like, not even Zach got the cheer that Matthew Olivier did, and Adam Fantilli wasn't there. And I feel like we need to embrace this skill, right? Like maybe the Jackets need to unleash these guys a little bit and open it up. I know you got to play some defense. But it sure seemed like those guys were, you gave up some goals, especially on the power play, but they were flying around in that Minnesota game and scored 7. And they were flying around last night. I looked at Tyler Oliver, our digital guy, because we were there together, and I said, after the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is not going to be good if New Jersey gets the first goal, because you've totally dominated this first 10 minutes, and if you get nothing out of it and they score the first goal, that could be very deflating. And I don't know if that's the case for the whole game, but it did seem like after New Jersey scored, the ice tilted a little bit. And I feel like maybe we just need to embrace our skill a little bit more, not only as a team, but an organization, maybe. We just love that third-line grinder.
Yeah, so usually the reason you like a third-line grinder is because you're not any good. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's really it. So usually when you want to say we want to be this little engine that could punch you in the mouth, blah, 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 that's usually because you're not any good. We've had really I think there's been one team that came through here that had the look of like that physicality that I think everybody wants, but also the high-end talent. And that was the Panarin team with Josh Anderson and that group.
Anderson, Dubois, Atkinson, Bjorkstrand.
All those cats. That was with Bob. That was the group that you said, okay, that's physical, hulking. That's all of those things. Best goalie on the planet, all of that. And if that could have stayed together, that group could have stayed together and just grown the way that it felt like they were. That felt like, okay, that's punch you in the mouth, but also elite talent. So I think you're right on a lot of those things. I mean, I think you make some very, very valid points. The crazy thing is that we're not a blue-collar city. We're not. We are a blue-collar, a white-collar. We are a massive monetary. I mean, just think about what the city has become in the last 20 years. And so, I mean, like, there's nothing that at all is blue-collar about Ohio State football. Ohio State football is Real Madrid. Like, there's nothing about them that's little engine that could. They're massive engine that did. So yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think when you talk to folks that have been around it, there is something that they are adverse to flash and skill and all of those things. And here's the crazy thing about it: flash and skill and all of those things. Not only they win, they're fun. They're fun.
And you talk about Panarin, right? And listen, the best coaches the Blue Jackets have ever had have been hard-nosed, want you to play tough, gritty coaches. Ken Hitchcock, John Tortorella, and now Dean Evison. And John Tortorella kind of just hands off on Panarin because he was like, you know what? Maybe it's not all perfect defensively, but he's like a dog on a bone with a puck. Like Panarin always just wanted to get the puck back so he could score. And he kind of did that with Zach and Seth too. Like they're different defensemen. They're rovers. Let them go. They're going to be okay because when they have the puck on their stick, they're going to produce, and as long as they get that. But, like, Line A just never worked here. It never fit. We're having issues with Chinikov now, whatever reason that is. And like Marchenko has obviously learned a lot, and he's playing very well. That play he made last night on Hughes, where he stripped him and then just pulled from him, and Hughes is one of the most talented players in the league. He's getting it, and he's working hard, but we just just maybe embrace these guys' talents a little bit more.
You just see a lot of what you didn't like last season, and you liked a lot of last season, but it's early. And you look at some of the warts that kept you 2 points out of a postseason berth, and you see these teams that you should be better and you should be beating, and you're not. And it's early,
yeah.
But it stinks that your last 4 home openers have gone this way. And so at one point, and I can understand Jackets fans' frustration with this, but I can also understand the Jackets fan that says you're 3 games in, you're 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
But it can get late quick if you allow these kinds of things to pile up that you had mentioned in the beginning of the segment, where you're 0 for on the power play, you've allowed 7 through 16 chances in the penalty kill. If you get a 3-on-1 on a breakaway, you run into a goaltender on a hot night, but it can't be really about those things anymore because now there have to be results.
Is Red Zone Kevin Stefanski calling the power play for the CBJ?
Can Kurt Signetti come in and fix the CBJ and their power play? Because if he can fix Indiana football...
I do think that a lot of what we're talking about here is something that I've had 1,000 conversations with Porty through the years about this. And one of the things that we kind of always felt was they never really took this thing down to the studs and built it the right way once. It feels like they did that this time, that all of this young talent is coming all at the same time. Now, what you have to do next, and this is the really hard part, is you have to find a way to maximize that talent, and then you have to be comfortable playing with that type of talent. And I think Bake's point of, let them go. Like, if there are some mistakes here or there, they'll learn from those mistakes. Like Ken Johnson on a third line, getting 11 minutes of ice time. Like, I didn't even look last night to see what his ice time was last night, but in the first 2 games, and you're like... And same thing with Fantilli. And I think you make a good observation there, Bake, about all of that. Because the reason that I think it's been that way is because we haven't always had the talent. But we do have the young talent now. And whether they're a playoff team this year, who knows? Jody had them 3rd in the East. So that's well in the playoffs. So if that's the case and you're going to play to that level, then Adam Fantilli is going to have to be a massive dude this year. And Marchenko is going to have to keep this up. And Ken Johnson's going to have to be a 30-goal scorer. And all of those things are going to have to happen if you're going to try to be the 3rd seed in the East.
Ken Johnson last night did get 19-23 of ice time. A lot of that, though, is because the Jackets had 5 power plays that they didn't capitalize on. But just to the point of ice time there, Adam Fantilli with 17 minutes and 10 seconds. It looks like that was 5th or 6th among ice time for our forwards. I just don't think that's a way. I don't think that's a path to getting where you want to go. I think Fantilli has to be up there with Marchenko and Monahan and getting the minutes that those guys are getting, the 19, 20 minutes a game, if you want to get to where you want to go.
Yeah. They got another one, Thursday night here against the Avs? So
and the Lightning on Saturday.
Yeah, 3-game homie here with the Avs coming in here on Thursday.
We'll have tickets later on today to give away, or whenever you want to give them away, Bo.
Well, you tell me. When do we want to do it? We want to do it. Let's let the people know. We want to do it 11, maybe 11:30.
That'll work after John Breech. The end of John Breech.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
We'll do it there. We'll give it away. We'll give it away then. Jackets drop to 1-2. Host the Avs on Thursday. Coming up next, did James Franklin do Penn State a solid? I'm trying to make sense of what's going on over there. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Tuesday edition of the program. A little bit of a compressed schedule for Ryan Day this week. Normal weekly noon press conference today. Then tonight, Buckeye Roundtable. Typically that's on Monday, so that'll be tonight right here on The Fan. Coach Day will join around 6:35 on that. Thursday, you get your Ryan Day show at noon. And then Saturday, Buckeyes at Wisconsin minus 27.5 is the number on that one. That has got to be the biggest line between Ohio State and Wisconsin since when? I can't even recall one where it's been a 4-score favorite over in Madison. But that's where Luke Fickell's program is. They're in a very, very tough spot. And you talk to folks over there and you say to yourself, okay, we're going to run Luke. Okay, fine. Who's paying for it? And who are we hiring next? Like, those are the two things. So if you're Wisconsin, you're probably saying, all right, yeah, we can come up with the $25 million or whatever the buyout is for Luke. Okay, we can do that. All right, so now who are we getting next? We got to give him 7 years and 75. And then beyond that, are we sure that that person is going to be better than Luke? Now, Luke, the results haven't been there in really stupefying fashion. As much as I didn't like the idea of him going there, as much as I thought that there was a ceiling that maybe even he didn't see, he was so calculated in everything he did. He didn't just take any job. He was offered a bunch of MAC jobs when he was here, and he was very smart to wait until Cincinnati, and then he went there because it was the perfect spot for him. I don't think he did that with the Wisconsin job. I think that I've never asked him this, but my hunch is that he looked around and said, okay, I stuck with Cincinnati 1 year too late. I could have been the head coach at Notre Dame. I could have been the head coach at USC. I could have been the head coach at LSU. Maybe could have been the head coach at Florida State. And now I just got to get out of here before we get to the Big 12. And I got NIL coming. I got to get someplace. And Wisconsin's open, and he took it. And maybe didn't see the forest through the trees on that job. But from Wisconsin perspective, where do you go? Which bleeds into this James Franklin conversation that we're having right now. And there's already a bunch of jobs open. And at 10 o'clock, we'll tackle the question of, is this going to be the best one? In the buyout that Penn State agreed to, James Franklin is required to look for another job in coaching or broadcasting, according to the contract obtained by Front Office Sports. This is our buddy Amanda Kristovich who's doing this reporting, I believe, on this. If Franklin's new job pays him less than $8 million he's owed annually through 2031, Penn State only owes him the difference on this. I think James Franklin will land another job. I don't know if he'll take one as soon as next year, but I do think he will land another job, and I think that's obviously going to offset it. Let me ask you guys this, though. Who could Penn State hire that would make you nervous?
Signetti.
Signetti, Drinkwitz. I think Drinkwitz at Penn State would do
Urban Meyer.
wonders. Ooh.
I don't think there's
There's not. But
there's not. Yeah.
You asked me if I'm nervous, and
he
it
would
be a seismic hire like that to get me nervous.
Yeah.
Kiffin, would he make you nervous?
No.
No, he'd be fun though. I don't think Signetti would make me nervous either. I think he'd be fun. This does. Matt Rule is the odds-on favorite at 3-1 for this job. We'll get to his thoughts on that. He was asked at his Nebraska press conference about the job specifically, and we can dive into that for just a moment. But when I think of what they ought to do, I was talking with a buddy of mine, Penn State alumnus, this morning about this, and I said, I don't think you need to worry about ties. I don't think you need to worry about Pennsylvania recruiting. I think you need to worry about who is charismatic, who can sell this. It would help if they were offensive-minded so that every time there's an offensive coordinator who does good, you don't have to worry about replacing him with somebody else. So I would get somebody offensive-minded. I would get somebody charismatic, and I think the chips would fall where they may from that. So based on this list that the betting odds favorites are, to me, that's Kiffin. If they could lure him, that would be it. He doesn't feel like a fit to me there at all.
No.
To me, he feels much more like Florida if that job came open. I love him at Ole Miss. I don't know that that's a culture fit for him there, but it might be exactly what they need, something like that to shake it up. I do know this. He would be in charge of his own offense, and he would win. He'd win. There's no doubt in my mind he'd win. He'd recruit, he'd portal it, he'd do all the things that are necessary. He would sell it.
Well, let me ask you this on the flip side of that. Where do you think the perfect job for Franklin is? Because there's one that is open that I think he's perfect for, and that's Stanford.
Oh, he'd be good there. I think he'd be good at Virginia Tech, too.
I was going to say UCLA sounds perfect.
Fine. Yeah,
they can pay him a little bit and have that offsetting language or have that contract language pay him most of it.
I think he is a very good program builder. I mean, you have to remember, I think that's when you see like all the Penn State people, like former players and stuff, rallying behind him, right? And even the conversation I had with Rich yesterday, Scarcella, of the Reading Eagle, like one thing that he and I talked about is like, you got to remember what he took over in 2014 and where the program was. And so to get to a point where you're recruiting in the top 10 in the country, you had Justin Fields committed, you lost him, but like you were able to get some massive players to come in there, and he just wasn't somebody. It's a little bit. I hate throwing the strays at this. There's a little. I don't think he got it. He didn't get it to the level that Coop did here in the 90s, like the overall talent level where you felt like almost every other year you had the best team in the country. But there is the common denominator in terms of winning the big one and Franklin's failure there. But remember, the program that Jim Tressel took over from John Cooper was in much better shape than the program John Cooper took over from Earl Bruce. So I think that's a little bit what Franklin is. I think Franklin stabilized. He recruited. The reputation was there. Kids wanted to play there. He made it so that someone could paratroop in there in pretty short order and get it going. To me, I don't think you have to be a great salesman to sell Penn State. I think it sells itself. The place is amazing. It's remote for sure, but it's got a lot of the things that you'd want. You go over there on a Saturday, there's a lot to like about it. And the guy who's the betting favorite on all of this is Matt Rule. So he had his availability yesterday in Lincoln, and was asked about the job being open and the fact that he played there. Here he is on all that.
I love Penn State. Met my wife there. It's my alma mater. Fan since I was born. I was born, I think, probably had a Penn State shirt when I was born. I love Pat Kraft. And really sad to see Coach Franklin go. You know, when you think about what he did for my alma mater, the program was in peril, right? I mean, the players, if people remember, like the historic sanctions, you could transfer out, you could do whatever you want. Bill O'Brien comes in, stabilizes it for 2 years. James takes over a program in disarray and gives stability, excellence, and to see, see videos of people like yelling at his kids, and like I just don't understand why in our country like right now like coaches are villains. Like, you know how hard I worked in Carolina and the things that were said to me, or you know how hard I work here, and some of the things that are said, you know, our coaches work here, how hard Sat worked last year. So I'm just really sad about that part of it. And people say, well, you make a lot of money. Making a lot of money doesn't make your kids feel good when they're hearing that. You know, make a lot of money. It's nice to make a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but still people. So I really respect James Franklin.
He did give an answer that he was committed to Nebraska. If you were him, because Penn State's going to call him, I don't know if they should. I don't know if he should be their first call. He probably wouldn't be mine because I just haven't seen enough to let me believe that he's it. And I don't think you have to worry about connections anymore. Ryan Day had no connections to Ohio State. None. It's worked great. Like, Urban had the infrastructure, absolutely, but it's been completely Ryan's program for a long time, and he's fine. You can buy into it. Mark Tavantoni's not from Ohio. You wouldn't know it because of how quickly he assimilated, but like, you just need, give me really smart, energetic, charismatic people, sold. That's it. But if you're Matt Rule, and this goes to how difficult this all is right now, if you're interested in that job, how long is now the time to take it? Like, if that is truly the dream job, and it seems like it is, if they offer it, can he really say no? Is this like Roy Williams at Kansas to North Carolina all those years ago?
No, Penn State calls, they offer, he accepts.
Right?
But should Penn State call? I was seeing something where Matt Rule isn't much better than James Franklin against AP top 10 teams.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if you can sell the fan base that days after, maybe weeks after, maybe months after, you dismiss the guy because he couldn't beat AP top 10 teams. Like, that can't be the next bridge. Or that can't be you bridge with Terry Smith to similar James Franklin. Yeah, Matt Rule played linebacker at linebacker U.
Yeah.
But as a coach, those have to matter.
It's not lost on me that the second choice here is Bill O'Brien in the betting. You know, I mean, he's got some other things. He's got a child that needs a lot of health care, and I think Boston fits very well for him on that. Obviously, Penn State very remote, but he obviously it's been 10 years or more. It's more than 10 years now that he was there, but he flipped it pretty quickly and he stabilized it. It's going to be fascinating. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't even know if it's going to be the best job open this offseason. There could be others. We'll get to that coming up at 10 o'clock. Monday Night Football delivered the staggered doubleheader. How about that, Reese? 2 for 2 out of us. A little bit of, well, you had a hell of a week and a little bit of a rally, because didn't you and I both get these last night?
No, I was wrong. I picked the Bills.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Well, I guess a little bit of an even Steven for me, but 2 fun games last night, and it begs the question of who is great in the National Football League. Now, I don't know if there is anybody that is after what we saw last night. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. An app only.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
In the spirit of Halloween, ooh, spooky, Awaken 180 is offering free consultation all month long. Find out how scary fast you'll lose the weight for free. Call 844-346-1800.
We've all got it, you know, that one crazy thing you've always wanted to do, that bucket list goal. Then a cancer diagnosis, and that one thing still goes according to plan. I would know. I'm getting my first tattoo right now. While my 3 beautiful daughters laugh hysterically at me. 58 years old, 4 years of cancer-free checkups at Ohio Health. Go ahead and get a picture, girls. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a pretty crashing mountain dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
T-Bone's an expert at making mornings better. He brought back the bagel sandwiches at McDonald's. He feeds birds out of his mouth. And he hosts a radio show guaranteed to make you smile. Yay, T-Bone. Yes. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Weekday mornings at 6.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And sometimes the best gifts are the ones you don't wait for a holiday to give. If you've got a Buckeye fan in your life, my friends at Diamond Cellar, it's a place to go. Official jeweler of Ohio State. Exclusive Buckeye collections, the real deal. Blocko earrings, diamond script Ohio necklaces. These pieces are built to last and show off that Buckeye pride every day. And with luxury Buckeye jewelry starting at just $99, it's the perfect just because surprise. A way to kick off football season in style. Check out Diamond Cellar today and score the ultimate Buckeye gift. Tell them that Bo sent you. They're just the best. 2 locations, Sawmill, Easton. They'll take care of you. All right, we had a Monday Night Football staggered double. This is where I am with the staggered starts. It's just 2 screen minimum. I just have to fire up 2 screens, and that's the way that it goes. I had basketball practice last night and some clinic stuff that I was doing, so I didn't get home until about 9:20. So I was watching the end of the Jackets game, and then I had these 2 on the split screens watching, or on the 2 TVs watching both of them. I'll be candid with you. I bailed before the end of Bears Commies. I was smoked and didn't get to the end of that. But watched quite a bit of both of the games. Here's one question I just have for you. If you're the Atlanta Falcons and you have access to those uniforms, why not just wear them always? I mean, what would, when you put that on, what would make you say, yeah, we should wear something else when you have that as an option? I mean, that thing's perfect.
We overthink things, don't we?
It's gorgeous. Like, oh, let's do a gradient. No. Wear that, and then just have the Deion Sanders era with the black and white as the alternate. Done. Problem solved. Fixed it. There you go. There's everything. Atlanta's good at home. Atlanta is a young team that's trying to find its way a little bit. Bijan, obviously, a massive game for him last night. Drake London coming along, Penix coming along, all of those things looking nice. I'd feel very good if I'm a Falcon fan right now. But they also do the thing that dumb teams do. They have one of the more stupefying losses where they got beat by Carolina, and Carolina like 30-0 2 weeks ago. That doesn't make any sense. For Buffalo now, it's a loss on the road, and you see Josh Allen walking off, and I think he's unbothered by a lot of this. I think everybody is. But if I were to tell you as we sit on October 14th that the Baltimore Ravens would have the record they have, obviously because of injury, the Bills would not even be in first place in the AFC East, and the Chiefs, now winners of 2 of 3, would kind of be on the way back, but still around the 500 line, you'd probably say I was nuts. And it goes to one of the things that's becoming kind of an early theme of this NFL season, and that is there are no great teams right now. There are a bunch of good teams trying to be. I think the team that's the most impressive to me when I've seen them week in and week out is Detroit, and they lost a tough one in Kansas City, but they've already got 2 losses too. There's nobody out there that every time you just roll out a ball and go, yeah, that's a get-right game, they'll get it. Because if there was ever a definition of a get-right game, it was Buffalo last night in Atlanta, and they didn't get right.
Yeah, we talk about like the uniforms for the Falcons. Conversely, like the Commanders probably don't. I don't wear those. Don't wear that. Those. But I think for Detroit, especially like the 2 losses they have, the first game of the season and then Sunday night, those are really great teams that you'd like to hope you'll see again. Because I'm sitting here all morning trying to do my top 3 in the NFL when we blitz it at 11 o'clock. I'm like, I don't know. And I do think, to your point, like that's what the league's dealing with right now. Who are the top? Well, there are a lot of really good. I mean, the Colts and the Colts are 5-1, so you have to give them that kind of a respect. I think there's only 2 teams that are 5-1 right now.
It's just them and Tampa are 5-1, and then there's 2. The Steelers are 4-1, and Green Bay's 3-1. That's it. That's the list of teams with 1 loss. Guys, we are so far past. You remember the old days, like Mercury Morris and the Dolphins breaking the champagne out when an undefeated team 12 weeks into the season would finally lose? Dude, we have 4 teams in the league that have 1 loss or just 1 loss. Everybody else has 2 or more. Parity. You got it.
Bo, to your point with Detroit has the highest point differential in the league at plus 49. And we talk about Tampa being one of 2 5-1 teams. Actually, no, the Colts. Sorry, they're
Colts
the top at 78. Then the Lions at 49. The Bucs are 5-1.
Yeah.
And they just keep winning close games, and maybe that's a good thing for them, right? Is winning those tough, close games for later on in the season. They're 5-1, and they're just a plus 14.
They're plus 14. Mike Evans is down. Emeka Egbuka is going to be down.
Godwin's still out.
Godwin's still out. Like, that's going to come back to earth, too. The Seahawks are plus 49, too, and they're sitting there at 4-2. I liked the looks of the Rams a couple of weeks ago, but then sometimes this is what the NFL wanted. This is salary cap. This is the draft. This is free agency. It's all of the things that they did to create everybody in the middle. And this, to me, a month into this thing, feels like the most parity we've ever had. You know that thing we do in college football when I say you can have these 4, you can take the field? I wouldn't even know what 4 or 5 to pick in the NFL. I wouldn't even know. I couldn't even tell you. Like Philly,
I'd have to pick Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because they're getting healthy, and you still got the Wizard and Reed.
You do. You have the Wizard and Reed, but they're 3-3. And you still, they have issues too. They don't run the ball particularly well, but they are getting healthy. They get Rashee Rice back, and now Xavier Worthy's going a little bit, so they have some things. But you wouldn't say Philly. That's a strange one last night for Buffalo. Now 2 straight losses, coming off a loss. You figure, okay, let's go down to Atlanta. Let's handle our business. But Atlanta's good at home, and they did. And so you look at this. I mean, Pittsburgh's 4-1. They have a plus 12 point differential. At 4-1, that's hard to do.
And how about the Texans? They were 0-3 2 weeks ago. Now they're a plus 47.
I know.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. It's fun, though. I mean, it makes every single Sunday fun because there's very few things you can count on.
Do the Bills need to go get Josh Allen a weapon on the outside? Because they've got Cook and they've got Kincaid, but his receivers, for the most part, are pretty underwhelming.
So I would start looking at all of the teams that feel like they're in sell mode. And, Schefter had that tweet or that story over the weekend that there's going to be a lot of teams that start to sell. And I would start seeing where those teams are. And I would be making calls if I'm them, because I think they have the most. Them and Baltimore have the most pressure in the league. Some of the pressure's off Baltimore because they're 1-5 now. But I also don't think Baltimore's just going to waste a season. Like they'll get it flipped after the bye week a little bit when they start to get a little bit more healthy. All right, coming up next, second hour of the program, we kick it off with the real truth. The job at Penn State. It'll be the best job in college football that is available this offseason. Is that the real truth? We'll get to it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here in the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, USDA Choice Boneless Beef Chuck Roasts are on sale. Just $7.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's officially fall at Firehouse Subs. The Thanksgiving turkey sub is back. This sub brings all the flavors of the Thanksgiving table into one crave-worthy bite. Stacked high with premium carved turkey, rich stuffing, and cranberry sauce. Add a side of warm, savory gravy for ultimate holiday comfort. Hurry to Firehouse Subs today and try the Thanksgiving turkey sub before it's gone. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last. Planning a tailgate or game day spread? Firehouse Subs Catering makes it easy to feed the whole crew.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Timmy Hall and AI Common Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
This ain't one of them, Timmy.
It's not the show. It's a spot. All October, we're watching our football team on Saturdays and the tailgate buffet.
Ooh, Mikey likey. Plus, they've got the 3 apps for $12 deal, and you can beat the crowds and reserve a table.
Yes, do that at HollywoodColumbus.com. And we got a special offer this month. Become a new member of our rewards program on the ESPN Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED and low T can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 614-300-7400. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, low T, Peyronie's, size, and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic workouts and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 614-300-7400 or book in 30 seconds or less at columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State's at Wisconsin Saturday at 3:30. Buckeyes are 24.5-point favorites. OSU's Ryan Day will hold his weekly press conference at noon today. We'll carry those comments live on the Fan when he takes the podium. Coach Day will also join a special Tuesday edition of Buckeye Roundtable tonight at 6:30. Week 6 in the NFL wrapped up last night with a doubleheader. The Bears beat the Commanders 25-24. Chicago's 3-2. Washington's 3-3. In Atlanta Monday night, the Falcons upset the Bills 24-14 to improve to 3-2, while Buffalo's 4-2. Week 7 in the league begins Thursday in Cincinnati. The Bengals host the Steelers at 8:15. And on the ice last night at Nationwide, the Devils beat the Blue Jackets 3-2. CBJ are back on home ice Thursday against the Colorado Avalanche. This update is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com.
Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a Tuesday. Dami coming up in 28 minutes. Time now for the real truth. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present The Real Truth.
Sponsored by Diamond Cellar. Over 76 years of experience and guaranteed lowest prices on Sawmill Road or diamondcellar.com.
All right, I'm going to throw a fastball at you guys.
Go ahead.
Someone just popped into the YouTube chat, Colonel Angus. I'm only going to say it once. He said...
One of the greatest skits in SNL history.
Yes.
I don't know how. It just came up on my Instagram. I just saw it yesterday. That's so crazy.
I'm trying to think, like SNL algorithm or maybe Christopher Walken algorithm.
Yeah.
Because I can get
Popped
some
in there.
Walken algorithms, but the aforementioned YouTuber says the best thing about getting paid is watching the Fan on the can. Is that the real truth?
So hold on a sec. He's doing his business, and he's watching us on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
God bless.
I hope he's got like a tablet and not just his phone. Like, I hope he took something else in there, maybe his computer.
I'm not going to identify because I don't want to embarrass one of my children. If they take an electronic in for that, it's like it's like in the old days my dad reading Western Horseman. Like it's a 30-minute operation. I'm like, are you binging shows? What are we doing in there for that long? Get in and I've always been a get in and get out guy. I don't want to linger in there. Get it done and I'm out. But I appreciate him watching. That's nice.
I mean, sometimes some of life's greatest ideas come from that area of the house.
Are you an in or out guy, or you guys linger?
Oh no, I'm trying to get in, get my business done, get out.
I can be distracted sometimes, I guess.
Speaking of deuces,
Is he back getting the paper? Still getting the paper in the morning for it?
I miss the paper.
Dude, I the physical delivery of it was so satisfying. So satisfying. Yeah.
So we had talked about Penn State chucking the deuces at James Franklin. The job in Happy Valley will be the best job available in this upcoming hiring cycle. Is that the real truth?
So I think in order to answer this question, you have to almost tier the jobs in college football in general without thinking about what jobs are open. So I think in terms of true Cadillac best jobs, this one, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Michigan, USC-ish.
If we got to go ish, I don't think it's a true. Is it?
What's keeping USC from being it, though? It should be. Like, is the Oklahoma job?
Do they care?
This is
Do
what's
they
hard.
care enough?
I don't know. It feels like it.
I would say Oklahoma more than USC.
But is it easier to win? I mean, Lincoln Riley went to USC from Oklahoma. And he already had it established at Oklahoma. And I don't think he was just running from the SEC. I think he thought that it was the better job. And maybe it was easier, too. I don't know. It's weird. From the outside looking in, the Texas job seems better than the Oklahoma job to me, but Oklahoma's got the better lineage, the better legacy. So that's a little bit of a tricky one. I think Penn State's right there in that group. I don't know if it's all the way Cadillac, the way Ohio State, Georgia, Bama, Texas, Oklahoma. To me, is Penn State a better job than Oklahoma?
I would say yes.
I don't think so. Me personally. It's close, but
they're very similar. Here's the one that you really got to ask yourself. Is Penn State better than Florida?
That's the question.
Because that's the real truth. And I would tell you that when I was in the state of Florida and covered Florida a little, primarily I covered Florida State, but anytime Florida had a big game, I covered it. At that time, I would have said no, that Florida's a better job. The proximity to talent goes without saying. You can recruit the number one class in the country there. Urban did it. Spurrier did it. You can do it. But now that we've had like 15 years, now that they've had about 15 years of time since all of that, I think Penn State is a better job than Florida, especially in an NIL free transfer world. I think there's more money at your disposal at Penn State than there is at UF. So I think it is the real truth. I think this is going to be the best job that's open.
And for that reason, I think so too. I think it's just a slightly better job than Florida is, and I think that would be the only one that could open up that would rival it.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns will win a football game before the Cincinnati Bengals. Is that the real truth?
Well, Cincinnati's going to beat the Jets in 2 weeks. So it just comes down to, can the Browns beat Miami on Sunday? They're favored in the game. Miami is pretty incompetent. The Browns' defense is pretty good. You're probably not going to need 20 points to beat Miami, although they scored 27 against the Chargers last weekend, albeit at home. I think it is the real truth that the Browns will win this weekend. I think they're going to beat Miami this weekend. So the only question is, do you believe Cincinnati can beat Pittsburgh this weekend? And I believe they can. I don't know if they will, but I believe that they can. I'm going to say it's the real truth. I think Cleveland wins this weekend and Cincinnati loses to Pittsburgh and then beats the Jets the next week.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think I agree with you, Bo. I just don't see Tua in this Dolphins offense doing enough to the Browns defense. So I do think the Browns, if they're going to get a win, it would be this week or in 2 weeks against the Jets. Obviously, the Jets play Cincinnati before then. I don't think Cincinnati's beating Pittsburgh. So
yeah,
the Browns have to beat Miami this week, and I think that's probably the real truth.
Yeah.
Giants quarterback Jackson Dart will win the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year award. Is that the real truth?
No, I don't think it is. I know Mech is no longer the favorite because of the hamstring injury, and they don't know how long that will last. Usually what happens with a rookie quarterback, and I'm guessing this will happen with Dart too, is they revert to the mean. So he's had one good game, one down game, one good game. He'll come back down. Don't sleep totally on Genty either. It seems like he's starting to get his stride a little bit out in Vegas, even though they're losing a lot. And I wouldn't sleep on Mech either. If he only misses a game or two, he could bounce right back into the forefront of this thing. So I don't think it's the real truth. I don't think he'll win it.
I don't think he'll win it because I feel like the Giants are just incompetent. Like, they're getting a little bump here from him and Scattaboo, but and who is he throwing to with Neighbors out right now? Like, I just don't see that. I think right now it's a Mecca's award to lose. I like what you say about Genty. If the Colts continue what they're doing, Tyler Warren may be someone to look out for here as they incorporate him more and more into the offense.
Blue Jackets have 2 more games remaining in a 3-game homestand. CBJ will score a power play goal before next Monday. Is that the real truth?
Yeah, they'll get one. You're going to get one. We'll have to monitor this, but they're going to get one. You got 2 more games full of it. Yeah, you're going to get it.
Gosh, it better be the real truth. I know they're playing 2 pretty good teams here the rest of the week, with Colorado coming to Nationwide on Thursday, and then Tampa Bay is going to be here Saturday. You got to get a bump, though, right? And I know you should have got a bump from the home opener, but everything with Cam on Thursday night, and then Rusty Klesla, Dave King, Ron Tugnut, and Jean-Luc Grandpierre. They're doing their first of the 25-year anniversary celebrations on Saturday. Hopefully they get a bump. I'm hoping that with this Jackets team in the offensive firepower that they have, that they're going to have a game where it just all clicks and they get like 3 or 4 power play goals in one game. And then hopefully it can kind of right itself from there. They get one in the next 2.
Yeah, and if you just think of it from this perspective, they're off to a 1-2 start. Again, no one's panicking about it's 1 of 82. It's fine. But when we asked Jody like where he thought they could be, he said 3 in the East. So last year, 3 in the East, Tampa Bay Lightning, 102. That's points accumulated. So if you want to be in that neck of the woods, I mean, just last year, and Bake, I remember you identified this correctly in real time too. Like the lowest playoff spot was 91. That was the Devils and the Canadiens. Mm-hmm. So that's above a point a game, obviously above a point a game pace. It's a point plus a game pace is where they kind of need to be.
And I believe that 91 was low. I believe the years previous it had been 95, 96, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I'll pull it up for you. I think you're right on that. It was year before that it was 91 as well.
Okay.
But then it was 94, 90. Yeah, so I mean it's right along there. Get to 92. To get in. That's the minimum one. So while it's 1 of 82, those are the things to pay attention to in a 10-game tranche. Are we at 10 or more points after 10 games? Because if not, you're going to have to make it up somewhere. The Cleveland Browns have got to figure out how to move the ball on offense. It has been a massive struggle. And Mike Tomlin takes a shot at the Browns front office. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Fox tonight. It's a night of unforgettable drama. First, a new mystery unravels on murder in a small town.
Let's find him. Suspects on foot. Send all units.
Then, a new episode of TV's most addictive medical drama, Doc.
You're reviewing my cases? I will know everything that goes on in my hospital. I'm not going anywhere.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Those other guys' drain cleaning specials seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. Get it done right the first time with the Waterworks.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fan's YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Burb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another sunshiny day for us across central Ohio. Afternoon highs getting into the mid-70s, and then for tonight, mostly clear with overnight lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Wednesday will be mostly sunny, however, it will be significantly cooler as daytime highs only get in the mid to upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The smell of undercarriage wafting from the Jackets dressing room means hockey is back.
Hey, something smells funky.
It's Blue Jackets week here on The Fan. 10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and we are sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Kevin Stefanski available Monday after another offensive output that failed to net 20 points. They host Miami on Sunday. Kevin was asked about the uncertainty at quarterback, among other things. Here was his answer to that.
Yeah, I think just the big focus for us, Mary Kay, is we have to be better in all areas, players, coaches, you name it. Obviously, Dylan is in his second start, some good things to build off of. He's learning just like all young players are learning for us right now. And we'll continue to try to, get him to make those improvements that young players make and also play better around them. That's our focus.
Yeah, I would say on the Dylan front, I don't think he is the problem. I see now there are a couple of plays in the game on Sunday against Pittsburgh where when you look at the all-22, there are some plays maybe to be made down the field. So there's two instances when Pittsburgh's playing single high safety cover 3, and if the safety comes down and plays the in-breaking route, plays the stick, then you throw it over the top. There's two of those where you gotta just read it and throw it. And the line that a lot of people say, even and leaving, right? So there's that one play where Isaiah Bond is even with the corner on the outside, and that's one of those ones where he's got to take that shot down the field. But I would also say that he got sacked, 6 times, 7 times, and was hit upwards of 14 or 15 times. They also had 3 drops. Harold Fannin had a big drop. David Njoku had a big drop. Jerry Jeudy had a big drop. They didn't really establish the run game because they were chasing the game a little bit. It was pretty wild to see Quinshon Judkins only get 12 carries in the game. So the plan, because it didn't go to script, because they were chasing, ended up with a rookie quarterback throwing 52 times, and I don't think that is anything anybody up there wants in terms of trying to get success. So I don't think that 2 games in, Dylan Gabriel has done enough to make me think, oh, he can't handle this. He has a long runway here to prove if he can be a viable NFL quarterback or not against pretty tough odds, because there just isn't a lot of weaponry that goes out into the pass catching routine every single snap that's terrifying, and it's made tougher because of the injuries that they have at tackle, so they are under constant duress.
Yeah, I'm not ready to throw away the Dylan Gabriel experiment just yet. I know you see a lot during Browns games, a lot of frustration from the fan base, understandably so, and you see a lot of people calling for Shedeur Sanders, and that's the natural progression. When things aren't going well in the offense, you look at the quarterback and you go, all right, he isn't it.
Yeah.
But this is only the second start for Dylan Gabriel. They've got the best defensive player in the league, arguably, in TJ Watt, and Alonzo Highsmith's pretty good. And then that Heinrich Heiberg, how do I pronounce his name properly? From was he from Nebraska?
I think he's Wisconsin.
Was it Wisconsin? But they showed tape of him back in Herbig. Thank you.
Yeah,
of him back in Hawaii doing the same thing to Dylan Gabriel. And I'm like, well, that's only fitting. So I'm not ready to give it up for Gabriel just yet. But I understand, the fan base's consternation with it. I just think that the coaching staff's got to do a better job. Dylan's got to do a better job, and his receivers just have got to catch the thing when it hits your hands.
We obviously didn't hear the question that was asked to Kevin in that clip, but I don't think there's any uncertainty with the Browns at quarterback. As you said, Dylan's got a long runway here. If anybody thinks that Dylan Gabriel isn't the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns until at least week 12 of this thing, I think you're misguided and misleaded. They're going to give him every chance here. Now, I do think if we're having the same conversations about Dylan Gabriel, if you're just not positive, yes, this is our... If the organization is not positive, yes, Dylan Gabriel is our starter for the next 5-6 years, then I think when you get to that point in the season, you've got to see just what you have on the field from Shedeur Sanders. But this is a long, as you mentioned, Bo, runway for Dylan Gabriel. There's no uncertainty with the Browns at quarterback right now.
No, and I think, look, ownership said this as well. I mean, Jimmy Haslam said it this summer, we need to see both of those guys. And that's really, from a 30,000 feet perspective, when you're sitting here at 1-5, what you have to know is, how are we attacking next offseason? Now, nobody in that building wants to hear that. You think Joel Bitonio wants to hear that, and Wyatt Teller and Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward? I don't want to hear any of that. They're no. Let's get this thing flipped around quickly, and let's try to make a run at getting back to 500, and then see if we can make for an interesting December if we're in the mix. That's their task. But from 30,000 feet, and we said this before the year, from their perspective, they have to know if they're going to address quarterback in the offseason or not. So they have to know if those two guys, if one of them can be the dude. And I think the other thing that you have to remember as a football fan now, because we've seen now a bunch of examples of it, you can find a quarterback somewhere other than the draft now. People are bailing on highly regarded, highly pedigreed players earlier than ever. Anybody in the league could have had Danny Dimes last year. He was on the Vikings practice squad, guys. Anybody could have had him. Anybody in the league could have had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield after the Carolina Panthers cut both of them. Anybody could have had him. Baker's the front runner for the MVP. Anybody could have had him. Look at what Mac Jones did with Kyle Shanahan and how he resurrected. I mean, there's countless examples of this. You don't have to. We're at a point now where, because people are bailing on quarterbacks younger than ever, and they're on their second, in some instances third teams so quickly, that's not the only path. If you believe in your coaching, you believe in your infrastructure, you can find somebody high pedigreed with talent who is identified in the draft as someone who had a high ceiling, and you can bring them in and you can try to resuscitate. I mean, that's what they were trying to do with Pickett. Was exactly that. I mean, they wanted Daniel Jones. They can't afford him because of the cap stuff, but they were really in on Daniel Jones too. So you don't have to. If Dylan or Shedeur, if neither one's the guy long term, there are other ways that you can go about this. But I do think they've got to see if one of those guys is. If both, they have to see if Shedeur can. They got to see if Shedeur's a gamer at some point. Not now, but boys, we're 6 games into a 17-game season. You got a long time here to kind of see what is what with this roster. Mike Tomlin was available yesterday too, and he did not shy at taking a shot at the Browns and their general manager, Andrew Berry. Here's Mike.
To be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
Reese, I thought you had the best response to this on social.
Mike Tomlin's never been in a spot where you're thinking of next season. Mike Tomlin's never had to do something what the Browns are doing, so it doesn't make sense to him. And it doesn't matter because it has nothing to do with him.
Yeah. And he's got to play the Bengals.
Yeah.
And now his job's tougher because he's got to prepare for Joe Flacco versus Jake Browning.
He's also doing, I think, a disservice to what Joe Flacco is right now. I think he's still holding in reverence what Joe Flacco was in about a decade in Baltimore when it would be Ravens and Steelers going back and forth for the AFC North. That reverence he still has for him today is a far cry from what Joe Flacco actually is.
I love to hear the guy that has been kicking your tail for years say the exact same thing we've all said as Browns fans. And I'm just, as a Browns fan, like, to me, this regime of the Cleveland Browns always feels like they think they are the smartest guy in the room, and results tell you otherwise. And I love hearing the guy who, while they haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time, and yeah, you can say Cleveland has won a playoff game more recent than them.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers and that coach have kind of been the standard bearer as an organization in the NFL for the past 30 years at least. And Mike Tomlin has never finished below 500 in a season. So the guy does win. He keeps his team relevant, whether you think that's him or the people above him, the organization. And I just loved hearing him say that, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think from the Brown, I never had a problem with them trading Flacco to the Bengals. I don't think it makes any difference. Like, they felt like they needed to give Dylan a go, so they get a chance to do that. They get a 5th round pick back. They can use that for draft capital when the time comes. But I never had a problem with it, and I think Mike probably just has a top problem with it because it's tougher to prepare for Cincinnati now. That's the reality of it. It's a little tougher to prepare for Cincinnati. They're a little more dangerous, as was evident by the throw that he put on Jamar Chase for the touchdown, their last touchdown in the loss to Green Bay over the weekend. Jake Browning's not making that throw. 2 minutes away. Tuesdays with Tiberi. Post-Italian Fest Tiberi in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter.
he'll be there quick.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender. Expires 10/31/25.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bishop and Friends present Tuesdays with Tiberi.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
What was something that you consumed at the Italian Fest that you hadn't previously consumed that you enjoyed?
Everything I consumed before, I go back and I get it again and again and again. Uncle Vinny's Pizza, the Carfagna sausage, and the Berwick gnocchis. Those three. It's incredible. It's fabulous. By the way, I got to tell you something.
Go ahead.
My little girl, Kelsey, who I'm very proud of.
Yep.
You know, she just she's a vice president at Chase, and she just got her master's degree in business. Jeez. But she listens to your show on a regular basis, and she wanted me to tell you that you are her hero. She loves you. You do a great job. I'm telling you. She called me up, and she's bending my ear. She goes, I love Bo. I just want to let you know, I think Bo's incredible. That's from my daughter, Kelsey.
I love her more.
There you go.
I feel it's the damnedest thing. I told this story off the top of the show. So my oldest is now in 8th grade, Dummy, and he's on his school 8th grade DC trip. So they left this morning, and I remember like Kels at that age.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So when I hear you say she's a vice president of a bank and all these, I'm like, holy cow, how did that happen? How's she still not a high schooler? Like, to me, she's just
babies, two kids.
Well, two little angels, two little legends running around that have you wrapped around their finger. And I'm sitting here going, how's that possible?
Yeah. They grow up, you know. It's like, where did the time go? Where did it go?
I don't know. You blink. That's the thing I tell people too, buddy, about football season. For us in this business is it's like this treadmill that's on like 14 and a half, and you get thrown off of it in February, and you go, what just happened?
Right. We do this, and this is my 44th season.
Jeez.
And, you know, I was just talking to Reeser. The chaos that we're witnessing in college football this year is like none I've ever seen before. I understand why people at Penn State are frustrated, but when did we start firing coaches in the middle of the season? This is not the National Hockey League. This is not the NFL. Yeah. It's college football. And if Matt Rule's your guy, or if Cignetti's your guy, you're not going to get him till, you know, I mean, I doubt Nebraska's going to get in a playoff, but, you know, Indiana looks like they're on a collision course. I just don't understand why. And, you know, I watch a lot, like you, I watch a lot of college football. And to me,
just from the eye test, the most consistent team, the most talented team is Ohio State. But guess what? At this point of the year, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
No.
Injuries are the great equalizer, and they got 6 tough games coming. You know, Luke Fickell's fighting for his life. I mean,
how about that?
20-some point underdogs, and you're not going to meet a better guy than Luke Fickell. Stand-up guy. I'll never forget when our daughter died. Luke came to our house on the Friday before they had a game and hung out there for like 2 hours. Yeah. I'll never forget that. You know, just a great human being. And, you know, I'm a little partial. He's a DeSales guy. His dad used to referee matches I had. And Luke was a little stallion. But, you know, I don't – it's sad because Luke Fickell's a great coach and he's a great human being. And if I had a kid, I'd want him to play for a guy like Luke Fickell that was, you know, if I have a kid, but if he was a football player good enough, I'd want him to play for a guy like Luke Fickell.
Were you surprised he took that job?
Yes and no. You know, I think he might have waited too long. I mean, I always thought he'd be a perfect fit at Notre Dame. Yeah. I always thought that, you know, he had hoped, you know, I know he would love to be the head coach here one day. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he had a good thing going in Cincinnati. He had turned down some other gigs. But I don't know, you know, when the door comes knocking, you know, and it was, you know, Wisconsin's always been a good program, but it's a whole different animal these days. The NIL, and I don't know that any of us knew where we're heading with this thing. I mean,
no, but I think, you brought up Cignetti, and I think in a way his success at Indiana, and I haven't always been a big fan of his act, but I get it. He's trying to punch above his weight. And he had a bunch of success last year with kids that he brought from James Madison along with him. But what he did what it did was it mobilized their alumni base, Tommy.
Right.
And now, like, they're a football school. Right. And they're very real. Like, that's a big time win. You could make an argument they should be the number 1 team in the country, and you wouldn't be crazy in doing so. But we're just not used to seeing that brand. And so I think the fact that he flipped it so quickly, you're Penn State, you're Arkansas, maybe you'll be Florida, maybe you'll be, you know, some other school's going to fire Auburn, something like that. And you go, well, heck, if this guy can do this at Indiana, we're Florida, Penn State, Auburn, you can do it here. And I think that's what has led to, we've got like 8 or 9 jobs open, man.
Well, and I think one thing that he has done, and you talked about all the guys he brought in from James Madison, this guy... he could be an NFL general manager because this guy's bringing guys in. He has used the portal exceptional. He's obviously a very good football coach. He is cocky. He's Pittsburgh. I mean, that's why he'd be a perfect fit for Penn State because he is Pittsburgh. Yeah. And, you know, we've known guys that are Pittsburgh guys, and that's what Cignetti is. And I love the guy. I think he's great for college football. I think he's a flavor. I think he's good for the Big Ten. I mean, I go back to the old days when the Big Ten had some big-name coaches, and we're getting like that again. But this guy, what he's done, he's captured lightning in a bottle. And, you know, I hear people saying, well, Indiana's not a football school. Why would he stay there? Well, you know what? You know, guys come and turn them into, all of a sudden, if you win a national title there, and if you make some noise, all of a sudden you are a football school. And I would argue that he's turned them into a football school, at least right now.
He's 64 years old.
Yeah, he's not a kid.
No. So here's the other thing.
He's near the end.
He is. He's probably got another decade in him at, you know, hope, you know, from the most optimistic view.
Unless he goes like Joe did, Paterno.
Yeah, I mean, I was there for Bowden at the end too. That isn't always great. So he's got about that. It's just like, here's the thing that's crazy. Like, is an engaged in Indiana with an alumni base among those Mark Cuban, who's writing some checks.
Right.
Is Penn State? I mean, Penn State is the better job than Indiana. There's no question. But I'm just saying, like, all you really need is a coach who can sell something and people who are willing to write checks and support, and you can do it anywhere. Look at Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. Nothing against Penn State. It's beautiful, but that is the hardest school to get to, whereas, Indiana.
Bloomington's no breeze either.
But you can. It's just south. You can fly into Bloomington, and it's a quick little
into
drive.
Indy, right?
Yeah. I mean, not Bloomington. You can fly into Indianapolis, and it's quick little. It's just a drive. I mean, it's not easy to get into Happy Valley. That's the longest drive. You look at it on a map, and you're going, "Oh, it's just a short drive. 6.5 hours later, you're there."
Yeah, it is. My hunch is I even saw a report they're going to call Marcus Freeman about that. Like, is Penn State a better job than Notre Dame?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I would think Notre Dame is the better job because you're a national team.
Well, that's what isn't everybody?
Well,
I mean, isn't Ohio State a national team? We can play in L.A. and Seattle and
but I mean, you know what I mean. Notre Dame is a national.
I do.
Team. I mean, no, they are. No, I mean, and eventually they're going to be forced to join a conference. It's going to have to happen sooner than later, and I imagine they'll be in the Big Ten.
Do you think that the leaders at Ohio State will hold firm and not take this private equity money?
I don't know. I don't like where any of this is going. No. I mean, and I don't fully understand how it all works. I know it's all you're selling, to get this, and you're going to whatever. But why don't we just call it what it is and do what we're going to do eventually? And it's pro football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what we're doing? Why are we trying to hide it? Let's just do it. And if you want to form a super conference, which is what I think we're heading to. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think we're headed for kind of two massive conferences.
And the $1 million thing to answer is how is the multi-billion-dollar thing is how is the NFL going to react? Because
I don't think the NFL cares.
Well, I think they will, and I think colleges. I mean, I just think.
You always wanted the NFL to subsidize it. I just don't think they have any need to or any want to.
I don't think they do, but I don't think, there's always been this, hey, we're going to play nice together, guys. And I just think once you get to the point where you're paying players, all bets are off.
Yeah, we're there.
But that's what I mean. I just think, the NFL and college, think about this, Bo. When Maurice Claret challenged the system,
yeah,
and the courts ruled that he could be one and done and go to the NFL, it was the NFL that filed the appeal in the Southern District in New York.
Of course.
Think about that.
Of course.
Because they never wanted to upset the apple cart. They like it the way it is. They got a free farm system. Mm-hmm. They made a deal. You guys keep them for 3 years, make them household names. I mean, look at the NFL draft compared to all the other drafts. I mean, these guys, everyone knows who they are. And now these kids are getting paid, and everybody's fighting. And once again, they were always fighting for the entertainment dollar, but now the entertainment dollar, it's insane because you got to pay the players.
Yeah. All while paying coaches $12 million a year and everything else.
Yes,
and
then firing them mid-season, which I go back to that. When did we get to that level, really? I mean, James Franklin, I hope Ohio State did well against him. But from all what I've seen and know of the man, he's a stand-up guy. He built a decent program. No offense, let him coach the rest of the year. I mean, what kind of message is that sending?
That it's not show friends, it's show business, buddy. That's what they're sending. I mean, hey, we got to run the best. Thank you for sharing that.
She just thinks the world of you.
I love her.
Well,
and Taj and everybody. I mean, it's great, beautiful family.
We love you.
Yeah, we love her. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, there he goes. Little Uncle Dom on a Tuesdays with Tiberi on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Thing or not a thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Progressive Insurance. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your friend with the truck.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point. All our people are in uniforms.
And our trucks are clean and shiny.
And big.
We leave spaces empty and clean.
For you.
1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love but you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Fox tonight. It's a night of unforgettable drama. First, a new mystery unravels on murder in a small town.
Let's find him.
Suspects on foot. Send all units. Then, a new episode of TV's most addictive medical drama, Doc.
You're reviewing my cases? I will know everything that goes on in my hospital. I'm not going anywhere.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Football season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months, or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Away game this week, but that just means you can make the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus your home for Saturday football. Join the fan for the tailgate show and then party with us with the ultimate watch party. We have football contests with amazing prizes. There's wall-to-wall screens, ticket and memorabilia giveaways, and unbeatable game day food. Can't wait to see you at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Saturday. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Remember when sports used to be about calling up your favorite host and saying how stupid they are? Good news. We still do that. The Fan Calling Show.
Hello. Sponsored by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino.
Sunday mornings at 8 on The Fan.
Hear those leaves crunching under your feet? Feel that cool nighttime air? It's definitely fall in Ohio. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks Heating and Cooling inspect and tune up your furnace before the cold winter months hit. Just $89 to inspect and protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns. Call 614-232-2222 or visit thewaterworks.com today to schedule your $89 fall furnace inspection and tune-up. Winter is just days away.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody. Work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Tuesday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
The Titans fired head coach Brian Callahan on Monday, just 6 games into his second season in the Music City. Callahan finished with a 4-19 record as the Titans coach, 1-5 this year. Cam Ward is the team's starting quarterback. With the firing, the past 4 quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall, including Cam Ward, and 6 of the past 8 have seen their head coaches fired during their rookie seasons. Thing or not a thing?
So this is probably, we can have a little bit of a discussion here on this. if you're going to draft a quarterback at number 1, then you need to ask yourself as an organization 2 things. Number 1, is the guy, and you haven't yet fired your coach, is the guy who is going to be the head coach, is he a fit for the quarterback? Is he someone we would want nurturing the quarterback? And that's a hard one. You got to be really honest about that. That's a hard question to answer because you want to say yes because you don't want to pay somebody not to work, right? You don't want to fire somebody you just hired. But the reality is, probably in this situation, because it was pretty much a disaster year 1 for Brian Callahan down there, and he probably wasn't their first choice to be the head coach, and he got the job because Amy Adams Strunk didn't like the fact that Mike Vrabel talked positively about the Patriots when they were honoring him in his Ring of Honor. Like, that's how all of this came about. You guys remember all of this? And so this is how you end up in this spot. But if you're them and you draft Cam Ward, you have to put him in position to succeed right away. So and another example of this failure is Caleb Williams in Chicago. Like, why did they keep Eberflus? Why would you keep him? Make the move before the season. Have Caleb walk in with the new coach. And they walk in and he's not having to learn a new system. There's countless examples of this. Sometimes you get a situation with Drake May where it looks like he's going to be able to survive it a little bit. Jane Daniels walked into a good spot. They hired Cliff Kingsbury to coach him. Cliff Kingsbury is a damn good offensive coach. So it is, how critical is it that how much of it's on a quarterback? A lot. How much of it on the circumstance? A lot. How much of it is on the coach? A lot. How much of it is on the talent, the offensive line they're walking into? A lot. Like, where is a scenario for Cam Ward to have success this year in Tennessee? Their offensive line is pitiful. Their receiving talent is non-existent. They can't really run the ball. How exactly is he going to have wins? And he has a coach he just fired. Like, how does Cam Ward not be the latest in a long line of guys who is kicked to the curb because it didn't work out? And how much of it's on him?
This organization is trash. They've been making terrible decisions for a while now. Bo, you mentioned it, and whether we like the alignment or not in Cleveland, at least the management and the coaching staff and everybody is in the same thinking. Like, they're all seeing things and believing things the same way. Brian Callahan did not get hired to coach Cam Ward. And listen, the Brian Callahan hire was always weird. He was the offensive coordinator in Cincinnati, but never called plays, and it was a weird hiring in the beginning, and it's not surprising that this didn't work, especially when you're firing coaches because you're angry. They're talking about other organizations and whatnot. Like, it just seems like there's some huge problems with the Tennessee Titans. I saw something where Cam Ward said something after the firing, like, just wait till I get to play the way I want to play. And so it already says, like, Brian Callahan and his offense weren't suited for what Cam Ward does best on the field and what he wants to do. So, yeah, it just seems like a mess there. And I don't know if Cam Ward was ever going to work or not, but it certainly seems like this is not a place for a young quarterback to thrive.
No.
For what it's worth, the last quarterback taken number 1 overall and not lose their coach in their rookie season was Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence lost his. Bryce Young lost his. Caleb Williams lost his. Kyler Murray did not in 2019, but Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff both had a new head coach before their rookie season.
Goff, too?
Was over.
Did they? No.
2016.
Yeah, wasn't he Jeff Fisher?
Yeah, but Fisher didn't get fired in season, did he?
That's what ESPN Stats and Information says.
They would be right. I guess I remembered it differently. I thought that Fisher was there at least for a year, but in the middle of it, yeah.
Top men will be on it in the break.
I'm sure they're right. I'm sure the top men are right.
Steelers kicker Chris Boswell missed a field goal attempt late in their win over the Browns when the turf at Acrisure Stadium gave out under his plant foot. Aaron Rodgers was asked about the field conditions after their win.
It got real beat up. By the time the third quarter rolled around, that thing was really beat up. So I feel bad about what happened to Miles. I'm not sure if there was any carry there. I know the field gets a lot of play. I don't know why anybody wouldn't wear 7 studs. Cleats. Some guys are opposed to that. They just want to wear moldeds. But it reminds me a little bit of the field in Green Bay in the early years but not until like November or early December where it'd get kind of torn up a little bit. Then they went out. They found an incredible, field maintenance guy that come over and help our guys out. And the field in Green Bay is absolutely immaculate. But the field today got pretty torn up.
Not the first time there have been issues with the field in Pittsburgh. They continue to play high school games, and the Pitt Panthers play their football games at Acrisure as well. Thing or not a thing?
It's a stupid thing. I mean, what are we doing? You are an NFL franchise. I was talking to Zagura about this yesterday afternoon. He's like, dude, the field was a disaster. That's impossible. Pitt didn't play there Saturday. Pitt was down in Tallahassee against Florida State. So you're letting high school kids come in there and chew it up for regular season games? I knew they did like the state championships and stuff there, and they knew they did like some playoff stuff there. But the idea, like just on a random regular season Friday night, you get to go tear up an NFL field? It's craziness. Like, what are they doing? And I'm not critical of much they do, because most things they do, everything they touch turns to gold. But that field was a joke from an NFL standard on Sunday. Total joke.
I don't even feel like the weather's been that bad where there's been a ton of rain that you would have to worry about this. This is a thing because supposedly safety is a big issue in the NFL now. So you've got to take care of this and keep it fixed. Glad that they have grass, but you would think if they're playing that many games on a field, maybe you might want the field turf, but it's that you just can't have that, especially I understand like when you have bad weather during a game that things are going to happen to the field, but that was pristine conditions. Like, they shouldn't be having those issues just out of nowhere.
I was looking at events at Acrisure Stadium, and this coming May, AC/DC is going to be performing there, May 8th, on their Power Up Tour. So today you learned something, kids. AC/DC still on tour.
Show trip.
Who's that? Who's lead singing them now? Is Brian Scott still doing it? Wasn't that his name?
That's a very good question.
Angus Young is passed, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Jeff Fisher was fired in December of 2016.
Okay.
Rams were 4-9 at the date December 12th of his firing.
Okay. Well, the MIT kids are very rarely wrong. We'll blitz the NFL coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC isn't just a curriculum. It's more than just a path to a degree. For more than 150 years, we have been forging tomorrow's leaders. Here you will find your purpose, your mission, your ROTC family. At Ohio State, you're not just joining Army ROTC. You're stepping into a history of excellence that spans generations. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu. Buckeyes lead the way.
Save big money right now at Menards. October is Fire Safety Month. Kidda Home Safety products keep your family protected in case of emergencies. From smoke and carbon monoxide detectors to fire extinguishers and more. Get peace of mind with new smoke and carbon monoxide detectors today. Save big money on all Kidda products at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. If your home's already feeling drafty or your energy bills are creeping up, now is the time to do something about it before the cold really sets in. And Universal Windows Direct is making it easier than ever with an October deal that's packed with value. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free with no limit. Plus, enjoy 0% interest for 3 full years. And to top it off, get an extra $500 off your entire home improvement project when you schedule this month. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com.
In the spirit of Halloween, ooh, spooky, Awaken 180 is offering free consultation all month long. Find out how scary fast you'll lose the weight for free. Call 844-346-1800.
I knew that the first hour and a half of my day was going to be excruciating pain. I mean, it was so much pain, it literally brought tears to my eyes.
Dad to a prominent Ohio basketball family, Satch Sullinger was determined to find relief. And that's exactly what happened.
QC Kinetics, they are awesome. This is my body that they're using to repair itself. And so who wouldn't want to go for that?
QC Kinetics natural treatments got Satch's attention. Finally, a way to get rid of that pain in his knees without going under the knife. And best of all, they used his own healing properties to give him relief.
Since I've been having the treatment, I can go up and down steps. So I'm getting better. And my golf game shows it because I'm starting to hit the ball a little bit better now.
Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics treatments. Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus and call today for your complimentary consultation. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Again, 208-4544. QC Kinetics.
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. That's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telhio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Newman Roofing, as part of its 2025 Commitment to Community Initiative, is proud to recognize individuals who have made an impact for people of all abilities. This week, we would like to honor Caden Cox. Caden made history as the first person born with Down syndrome to play and score in a college football game. His remarkable journey was featured on ESPN's College Game Day, and his football memorabilia is proudly displayed in the Chick-fil-A College Football Hall of Fame. This Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Newman Roofing is proud to join forces with 10TV and The Fan in celebrating our ongoing commitment to the community.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. #1 Ohio State's on the road Saturday. Buckeyes are a 24.5-point favorite at 2-4 Wisconsin. It'll be a 3:30 kick from Madison. Ohio State's Ryan Day will hold his weekly press conference at noon today. We'll carry those comments live on The Fan when he takes the podium. Coach Day will also join a special Tuesday edition of Buckeye Roundtable tonight at 6:30. On the ice last night at Nationwide, the Devils beat the Blue Jackets 3-2. CBJ couldn't capitalize on 5 power play opportunities and are now 1-2 on the season. Jackets have their next 2 games on home ice. They'll host the Avalanche Thursday. Tampa Bay is going to be in town on Saturday. In baseball Tuesday, the Dodgers look to take a 2-0 lead in the NLCS. LA hosts Milwaukee tonight at 8:08. In the ALCS, the Mariners have a 2-0 lead in the best of 7. Seattle's going to host Toronto in Game 3 on Wednesday. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Tuesday edition of the program. Time to blitz the NFL. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present NFL Blitz.
Sponsored by Monogram Homes. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building.
I believe I had that. What did you have, Vic?
I believe I had that the Kansas City Chiefs would be fine. They're starting to get healthy. I still don't understand the loss to Jacksonville last week, but sitting there at 3-3, an impressive win over Detroit this week. Isaiah Pacheco seemed to get a little life this past week, and they had something in the running game. And look, as long as they have Mahomes and Reed, I think they're going to be just fine.
I had it for a couple weeks that the Bengals needed to do something at quarterback, and the something was Joe Flacco. And I had said that the Flacco experiment would provide a little bit more fight and a little bit more fun. So it was said, so it happened. It was in a losing effort, but he's got them at least playing better offensively. And Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are a little happier than they were with Jake Browning.
Yeah, I mean, the throw, it's justified by the throw he makes to Chase, because I don't think Jake Browning makes that throw. So that's why you do the deal like that. I had Cincinnati covering, so that was just too much, 14.5. I thought Joe would have that positive impact. The other thing that we've kind of been circling around here is, for the last couple of weeks, is this notion of there are no great teams. And I think that that's where we are right now. I think every team has flaws. It's amazing when two really good teams play like Detroit and Kansas City, and it really comes down to the middle eight. Do you score right before half, and then do you score right after half? Like, that flipped that whole game. The Detroit really didn't do anything wrong. Goff was great. It's just they lost the middle eight and in turn lost the game. But I don't think there is a great team in the NFL right now. I did not have that. What did you not have, Big?
I did not have Drake May being as good as he's been. He hasn't done anything spectacular. He's just been really solid for New England. 18-26 this week, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's thrown for 15-22 this year, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks, 73.2% completion percentage, a 72.3 QBR. And I saw he's tops in the NFL in throws of 20 yards or more, with completing those at like 71.2%.
The metrics on him are off the charts. Off the charts, what he's doing early on. Go ahead, Reese.
I did not have, along with almost everybody else outside of Rico Dowdle's mom, have Rico Dowdle. Like the second straight week of 200-plus yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, and he was on Dallas last year and ran for 1,000 yards, and they let him walk. So it was personal last week for him. I'll stay in that same roster. I didn't have Carolina beating Dallas, but more importantly, I didn't have Carolina being competent. But if you think about what they did, they gave Bryce Young a fighting chance by drafting McMillan, the kid out of Arizona who had 2 touchdowns over the weekend. And if you have weapons, you can do most anything. And they are a pretty competent operation here for Bryce Young. So that was good to see. I didn't have it. Not this week anyway. Player that impressed this week, Bake, who do you got?
It was last night. Bijan Robinson, 170 yards and a touchdown, 8.9 yards per carry. Caught the ball 6 times for 68 yards. He is on pace this year to become the first player ever to rush for over 1,500 yards and have over 1,000 yards receiving as well.
I was impressed with Baker Mayfield. Had a lot of guys out for him, but didn't matter because they won. And the one metric that really, truly matters at the end of the day in the National Football League is your wins and your losses. He's 5-1.
Yeah. I'm going to stay in that aborted Carolina Panthers quarterback room for Sam Darnold here. He's been unbelievable. You think about how many teams gave up on him and the places that he bounced around to before landing in Minnesota, getting a master class in how to quarterback, and then being better in Seattle. A lot of people doubted the money they gave him. How do they feel about that right now? He's playing top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and it's pretty awesome to see for a guy who was really highly thought of coming out of college and now validating all of it in Seattle. Player who disappointed, Bake.
Well, real quick on Darnold, he's number 2 behind Drake May in completion percentage on passes 20 or more yards down the field. He's at like 70.6.
It's amazing, right?
Justin Fields. Yeah, nothing hurts my heart more than Justin Fields just not making it in the pros. And somebody told me this weekend, they were like, oh, Justin Fields is just bad coaching. Well, this is his 3rd stop now. I don't think we can say... I don't think we can say it's bad coaching with Justin anymore. And I know that the sack yards are in there, right? But Negative 10 yards for the Jets in the passing game. That's just brutal.
He's an all-time favorite Buckeye for me. He's on a short list of guys I just adored to watch play. That stat, when that was exposed a couple of weeks ago, that he's now 0-26 when the opposing team scores 21 or more, is a stupefying indictment. That's crazy. I mean, that's just such a bad look. So, yeah, and unfortunately, he was not good this weekend.
Yeah, try to parachute somebody. I also had Justin Fields because to somebody who's never watched a football game before, you read him Justin Fields' stat line, 9 of 17 for 45 yards. But wait a minute, the Jets had negative 10. How does that make sense? Football, friends. It's so confusing.
In the NFL, sacks count against passing yards. In college football, they count against rushing yards. So it's just how stats are assigned, just so the audience knows, and that's where that comes
And there's
from.
even a greater conversation for, like, should stats be quarterback sacks?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's another one. This is of no fault of his own. It's just disappointing. I miss seeing Lamar Jackson play. And they're 1-5, and they're going into a bye week, and they're going to try to dig out of it. And if anybody can do it, it can be him. But I was reminded yesterday about how anybody in the league could have signed Lamar Jackson. Remember, they made him open to negotiate a deal with other teams, and nobody was serious about it. And all he's done since then is win another MVP. Probably should have won another one last year. So hopefully he can get back healthy, because I enjoy watching him play on a Sunday. All right, Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week. Who do you got, Bake?
To me, it's Todd Bowles. The Buccaneers are sitting there at 5-1, and they've had a lot of injuries, and they keep coming. Like, the injuries aren't stopping for them, but they continue to roll. Todd Bowles, it didn't work for him the first time out for him, but man, he is doing well in Tampa, that's for sure.
Mike Vrabel's mine. They're winning games by a lot, and then they're winning really close games, as was evidenced by their win against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo last week, and then beating the Saints pretty handily in New Orleans. Those are going to help his team, his young team, in future seasons. I don't know what they're going to be now, but right now they're at the tops of the AFC East, so that's got to count for something.
I'm going to go Ben Johnson here. I love both of your guys. I'm going to go Ben Johnson here just as a little bit of a curveball. They're 3-2. The Bears are 3-2. You watch Caleb Williams play football, and he does, if there's 10 dropbacks, 7, you'll be like, yes, that's how you play quarterback. And then 3 are like, don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. I mean, he took some of the craziest hits. He holds onto the ball way too long, like it's, and they're 3-2, and they got a nice win last night in Washington. So good job out of him. Your top 3. Who do you got right now? Top 3, Beck.
I have Tampa Bay. I have Kansas City, and I have Detroit.
Okay. Reese?
I have the Buccaneers, the Chiefs, and the Colts.
You shouldn't even say the Colts and the Indiana Hoosiers are the same now. Like, that's what we have to just get used to. You're what I was yesterday. You have to acknowledge your brand bias is there.
Is Indiana a football
what is their
state
number?
now?
What's that, buddy?
Are they a football state now?
I guess.
They abandoned basketball?
They don't even need the Hoosiers gym anymore. They just don't even need it. Yeah, I mean, they're plus 71 in point differential. The next best is plus 49. Like, they are. It's them. For me, it's them, Tampa, and Kansas City. Those are my 3. Kansas City's 3-3, but they've got a wizard and they've got a genius coach. So my guess is that they get healthy, they're going to be right there. Super Bowl right now, Beck.
I feel bad, and I need to apologize to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid for ever doubting them and putting Buffalo in this spot for a few weeks. But it's Kansas City and Detroit to me right now, a rematch of Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I owe the exact same apology. I've got Buccaneers and Chiefs.
I'm not going to give the Chiefs all their flowers just yet, because at 3-3, I'm going to give Indy their flowers. Although in my head, I'm saying Tampa Bay and Kansas City. I'm going to go Indy, Tampa Bay for right now, because that's a task at hand, and they're 5-1. But I would never bet against Kansas City winning a game that's important anytime soon, because they just don't do those things. Even though isn't that crazy? Like, if they go to Jacksonville and win that game, they're sitting there at 4-2, and they're in top of the division despite a really uneven season. They've won 3 out of 4. They got the Raiders this weekend, and then Commies, both those games at home before going to Buffalo on the 2nd of November. So that's something to look forward to. From a corrections department, I had mentioned I said I had asked who's the lead singer of AC/DC, and I said Brian Scott. So I just took the 2 lead singers of AC/DC that are the famous guys.
You mashed them.
And I mashed them. So Brian Johnson, Bon Scott no longer with us. Brian Johnson still is. He is your lead singer. Of
let me add to that. I said Angus Young had passed. No, it was his brother Malcolm that had passed.
Okay, very
good. So Angus Young's still alive and singing with Brian Johnson on this tour.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So many bangers. So many things that still hold up. The Bengals trying to hold up for Joe Burrow's return, and Joe Flacco's a big part of it. You'll hear from him coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You know what my favorite place is to watch a game? The ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle and I are throwing a huge party for the Thursday night Steelers-Bengals game. We have tickets, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and dining credits to give out during the game at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Amazing food, huge screens, and prizes. That's a winning parlay. Can't wait to see you Thursday night. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car needs a new battery. That'll be $19,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a second opinion.
You wouldn't accept that quote, so why accept this one from that other company?
$19,000 for a new sewer line.
I'm going to call the waterworks instead.
Facing an expensive sewer repair? If another company's quote is way more than expected, call the Waterworks for a second opinion. We have the most experienced drain techs in Central Ohio. Call 614-232-2222.
Fox tonight. It's a night of unforgettable drama. First, a new mystery unravels on murder in a small town.
Let's find him.
Suspects on foot. Send all units. Then, a new episode of TV's most addictive medical drama, Doc.
You're reviewing my cases? I will know everything that goes on in my hospital. I'm not going anywhere.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points. Digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Meijer has everything you need to enjoy the flavors of fall. Locally grown tote bag apples are 89 cents a pound. Buy one, get one for $1 on fresh from Meijer boneless pork tenderloin. And assorted varieties of General Mills cereal are 2 for $4 when you buy 2 or more. Make your Halloween a ghoulishly good deal better with 25% off outdoor Halloween decor. And select snack-sized chocolate Halloween candy is $4.49 per bag. Make your Halloween a good deal spookier at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another sunshiny day for us across central Ohio. Afternoon highs getting into the mid-70s, and then for tonight, mostly clear with overnight lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Wednesday will be mostly sunny, however, it will be significantly cooler as daytime highs only get in the mid to upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
Am I reading this right? Week 9 in high school football?
That would be correct, Bo. Your eyes are not deceiving you.
Man, league title, playoff implications on the line. Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week. Hamilton Township hosts Bloom Carroll this Friday night. Coverage starts at 6:30. The kick's at 7. After the game, Byers, Subaru, Dublin, overtime with Bake and Lee. Friday nights are high school football right here on The Fan. I've often said that you're not entitled to championships as a fan. You are entitled to an organization doing everything it can to be competitive and everything it can to win. I think that is what you are entitled to. I also think you're kind of entitled to a little bit of fun along the way. You can lose, but be fun in losing. You can lose, be likable in losing. And if you think about where the Cincinnati Bengals are right now, they have one stated goal, I would think, as an organization as we sit here on October 14th, and that is somehow, some way, be relevant when Joe Burrow returns. We have not got it, by the way, an update on Burrow or how all of it stands or where he is with any of it in a while. So not sure what the answer to that is, but the common thinking is sometime early December would be the soonest that he could come back. So be somewhat relevant there. The acquisition of Joe Flacco, they hope, did that. But it also did the other thing that I was talking about, which is be entertaining, be fun for your fans to consume your games. Joe Flacco will probably end up losing a little bit more than he wins down there because they don't protect worth a dang, and they don't really have a run game. But he's got 2 stud receivers. Yoshivash's pretty good, too. So they got a lot of weapons. He'll spin it, and he'll make it fun. And they will win some games. He's going to win some games down there. Is it going to be enough for them to be relevant by the time that Joe Burrow comes back? I don't know. I'm doubtful of that. Obviously, this Thursday is a massive game for them because then they get the Jets after that. If you can stack 2 wins in a row, then all of a sudden you're resuscitated a little bit. But Joe Flacco is going to be in the middle of this thing, and he's going to be a lot of fun along the way. Here was Joe after the loss to Green Bay, where they showed some life but couldn't quite close the deal on the offense and where it needs to go from here.
Well, I thought as an offense we settled in, probably sometime in the second quarter. Not that we were able to get over the hump in that quarter, but we came out and played a good second half. But usually against a good football team, playing one good half isn't going to be good enough. But we gave ourselves a chance down the end, and I think we did some good things, but just not enough early on.
In terms of being with this group on short notice, remember he came in the middle of the week and got the start and all of those things. Here's Joe on that.
You hope so. I mean, you're always looking for ways to play with confidence. I think, they talk about learning how to win, and good football teams know how to do that. That's because they always believe they can win. And listen, I've only been here for a week, but I think these guys in the locker room got a good head on their shoulders, and I'm excited to get to work with them.
It's funny. He's like the hire a quarterback guy, like old Uncle Joe comes to town to try to right the ship a little bit. One thing that's going to make this ship righting easier for Joe is the fact that he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah. I mean, I came over the sideline a couple times and was telling Jake, like, just the way they plucked the ball out of the air. Like, I threw like a quick out route to Jamar, and I didn't get the ball great, and it was like an awful spiral, and he still just caught it, like, with both hands. And then the one that I can think about to T, we hit him on a little inside slant route for a third down on that first drive of the second half. And a lot of guys would go down and kind of catch it with their body and slide, and he just plucked it right out of the air with both hands. It's pretty impressive to see those guys go.
You think about that from his perspective, those type of weapons. Higgins went 5 for 62, Jamar 10 for 94. You think he'd like targeting those two? 12 targets for Chase, 8 for Higgins, a total of 20. That's where you need to be successful. They've got to get something out of the run game, something. They're not even really trying right now. They have to if they're going to have sustained success right now. But Burrow throwing to those two, that at least will be fun here as they try to figure out if they can be relevant.
Is he shocked? Did he not have that in Cleveland?
Well,
did his receivers not do that for him in Cleveland? I'm confused.
It's been a while. You think about Flacco, when is he ever? I mean, you could make an argument who in the NFL has gotten the chance to play with two receivers like that. There aren't many. Darnold last year in Minnesota with Jefferson and Addison, but it's a short list. Jalen Hurts with those two guys. I mean, there's not a whole lot of teams in the league that have the type of firepower that the Bengals have. Now, I think we can all agree they're going to be fun, and I think as a fan you're entitled to that. Even if they lose, can they be relevant? Can this team be close to 500 by the time Joe comes back? Here's the next stretch of games for them. They got Pittsburgh at home. The next three are all at home. To me, they got to go 2-1 in these three minimum is the minimum requirement. Pittsburgh on Thursday, Jets in the mini bye week, and then the Jets on the 26th, and then the Bears on the 2nd of November. That's the next three. Then they're at Pittsburgh, Patriots, and then's that brutal stretch where they go at Baltimore, at Buffalo, Baltimore at home. My assumption is that Baltimore will be pretty healthy at that point. Certainly you'd think Lamar would be back and all of that. Here's the other thing that really helped. That think about this when we try to answer that question of will they be relevant when Burrow gets back. No one's running away in the AFC. There's no 6-0 that you're trying to chase down. There's not. It's Indy at 5-1. It's Pittsburgh at 4-1, and Pittsburgh's got flaws. There's nothing out there right now. New England's atop the East. Buffalo's 4-2. The Steelers are sitting there at 4-1. Colts 5-1, as I mentioned. Everybody else has got 2 losses. So you're not going to have an AFC team this year, I don't believe, at 14-3. I mean, the number one seed in this division might be 12-5. So consider that when I ask you the question, will this team be relevant when Joe Burrow returns from injury? They've lost 4 in a row, guys. Where are you with that?
I don't think so, but I'm willing to hear you out if you're able to win on Thursday. It's a must-win. Because then I think that still gives you at 3-4 hope you're going to beat the Jets. Now you're 500 going into the month of November. Then you've just got to kind of hold on to your butts. And then maybe, and this is the biggest but, Joe Burrow's injury is healed. Or it's feeling better enough to where it can be on the early side of December for a return to practice. And then you can have him back before Christmas. But it's got to, I think, depend on how well Joe Burrow's recovery's going.
Sure.
Because you can't just ride Flacco this, into December. And, you have to be in a point to make a decision. Do we want to risk putting Joe Burrow out there when we don't? I mean, this kind of goes back to John Mateer. Did Oklahoma do themselves a huge disservice by putting a guy out there too early because he was just raring to go and you were scared to tell him no?
Yeah.
I tend to believe no, that I don't think that they are going to be relevant when and if Joe Burrow comes back this season. Now, there were some positive signs at the end of the game last week with Flacco in there. And maybe there will be more as he gets more integrated into their offense and their system. I just don't believe it's there for them.
So I was just looking if there was any update on Burrow's kind of timeline, and there really isn't. The most recent update was near the end of September. Jay Glazer was on Fox NFL Sunday and reported that this about Burrow. They're saying 3 months. I don't see 3 months being an actual timeline. I think more so Burrow has a chance to make a return if they make the playoffs, but only because it's Joe Burrow. Somebody else I'd say no, but he has that Mamba mentality. Maybe yes. It's just such a difficult injury to return from. Catastrophic toe is what it is, and it seems like it's more like a 6-month thing. This is going to be pretty brutal if both of the two Ohio teams are just kind of playing this thing out with nothing to chase as we get into this. So hopefully one of them gets the ship righted a little bit here in the next couple of weeks, where you can at least have a little bit of false hope in December that games matter, because it's tough around here when they don't. We'll get John Breech's perspective on all of this in 2 minutes. NFL reporter at CBS. He joins us next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, I hate hearing.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
In the spirit of Halloween, ooh, spooky, Awaken 180 is offering free consultation all month long. Find out how scary fast you'll lose the weight for free. Call 844-346-1800.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's get smarter on the NFL side of things with our good buddy John Breech, NFL reporter at CBS, and he joins us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Let's start here, pal. Is there a great team in the National Football League this season?
Bo, I don't think there is a great team in the NFL this year. It is like this. I feel like the NFL, for the 100 years it has existed, they've preached parity, but it really hasn't been there because there's always a top tier of teams that keep that parity from truly happening. But I think it has finally happened. Here we are. We're going into week 7, and it does not feel like there is a best team. Every team has holes, whether it's the Bills getting smoked last night, losing 2 games in a row. You could make a case that the Chiefs are good, even though they're 3-3. The Steelers at 4-1 are just in a bad division. The Buccaneers fall behind by 10 points every week, so I'm not sure you can trust them, even though they're 5-1. There's just every team has this Achilles heel that could cost them later on in the season. So I do not think there is a top 1 or 2 teams in the NFL right now.
I couldn't agree more. There's nobody I look at. I mean, you see little things here and there, would be it from Detroit or Kansas City or even Buffalo early, but the injuries to Baltimore obviously derailed all of that. Of the teams that aren't quite as good as we thought, which one surprises you the most with their struggles?
I mean, probably still Baltimore, because even before Lamar's injury happened, the defense was just so bad, and I'm not sure they would have they're 1-5 right now. They probably would have won a couple more games even if Lamar Jackson's out there. But they lost 38-30 when Lamar was out the field to Detroit. They lost 41-40 to the Buffalo Bills, even with Lamar Jackson out there. And he played 3 quarters against the Chiefs, and even if he had played 4 quarters, they were still going to lose that game. So that's 3 losses with Lamar Jackson on the field. And so the fact that that defense has just been so bad that not even Lamar Jackson was able to overcome it, I think that is surprising. So even if he had been healthy for all 5 games, I still don't think that team has a winning record heading into their bye this week.
Which team on an ascent do you buy the most? So we've got New England now at 4-2. They're atop their division. Nobody wants to give them their flowers, but Indy is 5-1, and they got a plus 70 plus point differential. Like, they just win every week, and really probably should have beat the Rams. They really should be sitting there at 6-0. Tampa Bay, they've been in the playoffs a lot, but 5-1. Which team that do you think, and you see it? Maybe Tampa Bay's not in that. They're probably not fair to be in that group because they've been in the mix for the last few years. But in terms of the teams that are surprising, which ones feel most real to you?
I would say the Colts, and it is surprising how they just kind of flown under the radar, even though they're 5-1. And like you said, they should be 6-0 if A.D. Mitchell doesn't fumble out of the end zone on what should have been the easiest touchdown of his life. And I think when you look at the Colts, they're just so well-rounded and so balanced. They don't need Daniel Jones to win them games because they have Jonathan Taylor, who's leading the NFL in rushing. And when other teams are so focused on stopping him, that's when Daniel Jones can get the ball to his weapons out there. And I think their defense has been a little bit better than most people thought it was going to be. And they just seem like they have the fewest holes on their roster, which just seems something crazy to say because no one was saying that back in August. So when we look at these last teams standing, I think the Colts are absolutely going to be a playoff team. I do think the Patriots will also be a playoff team, but the Colts just feel like the team with the fewest question marks right now.
Yeah, they really do. And it's interesting because there's some other team. I wanted to ask you, one of the other themes that's happening, and it applies certainly to the Colts. You think the Colts with Daniel Jones, Baker now well into it in Tampa, Sam Darnold in Seattle after having a great year in Minnesota. A lot of people doubted if he could back it up, and boy, is he. Even Mac Jones on the scrap heap with San Francisco, and Kyle's getting some really good play out of him, albeit losing to Tampa Bay over the weekend, but they've gotten really good play out of him. What is the talk around the league about, are we giving up on these young, all of those guys were high first round picks. Did we give up on these guys too early, and what can we learn from it?
Well, it essentially comes down to coaching. I think that's how most people around the league feel, is that you've got to land in the right spot, and you really see that. I mean, if look at Tennessee, for example. They just fired Brian Callahan. If they bring in a new coach and Cam Ward just turns a corner, that's what's happening right there. You just have guys who land in the wrong spot. I mean, you look at Baker Mayfield. He's a great example. He took Cleveland to the playoffs, but it just seemed like he hit a ceiling there, and there wasn't going to be any improvement. And it was for the best for his career that he eventually left. And Sam Darnold did not have a shot in New York. That just any quarterback that would have landed in that situation that was going to be destined to fail. And then you put these guys, Darnold landing with Kevin O'Connell, saved his career. Baker Mayfield getting a couple games with Sean McVay probably saved his career. And so that's what you see around the NFL, is that these quarterbacks just kind of land with these brilliant offensive minds that they never got a chance to play with. Mac Jones with Kyle Shanahan is, like you mentioned, just another great example. And so these coaches are able to squeeze out every ounce of talent that these guys have. And Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones is another great example, because Steichen has really looked at Daniel Jones' skill set and maximized what he can do for that Colts offense, and that wasn't happening in New York.
You can see, I'm sure you saw the story with Daniel Jones. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, where he talked about going to Minnesota. And even though he was there for just a short period of time, it was illuminating to him, like, the preparation that O'Connell demands from the position. And it almost, and I think probably that's that common denominator. You hit on all of them, right? I mean, McVay, O'Connell, Shanahan, those are the smartest guys in the game. And you get in there and it's like, oh, this is what it takes. And I think, to me, the warning sign, I'm curious, John, if any of these teams are going to pick high in this draft will heed the warning. But, like, if you're going to draft a quarterback, you have got to, it's almost the landing spot and the prepper and the coach that you're marrying them with is almost as critical as the quarterback's talent.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really what it comes down to.
Because
right? If you don't have a coaching staff that can develop that quarterback, then you essentially wasted your pick. So you're looking at the Jets right now at 0-6. They're going to need a quarterback if they're picking at the top of the draft. I won't be surprised if they end up taking one. And if you're the Jets front office, you have to ask yourself, do we trust this coaching staff to develop a quarterback? And if you don't, then you have to move on, because otherwise you're just wasting the first year of that quarterback's rookie career. So it really is a question that every front office should be asking themselves if they are a team that needs a quarterback right now.
So I was around Mike Vrabel last year. He shadowed in Cleveland with Stefanski and Barry. And one of the things that Mike wanted to do, he didn't do much media, but one of the things that he wanted to do is he wanted to find what did it look like when you have true organizational alignment. And you can say that obviously the success has not been there the last couple of years with Cleveland with that front office and coaching. The record is the record, and it is what it is. But what I think he learned was, I need to have everybody rowing in the same direction if I'm to have success. And I don't think he would have just taken any job. He wanted a young quarterback who was really good, and he wanted alignment. Well, he got it in New England. And this now feels like, here we go again with the Patriots with Drake May. What have you made of their early season success and what Vrabel's presence alone has meant in New England?
Yeah, I think Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I lived in Nashville his whole time that he was the coach of the Titans, so I had a front row seat to what he was doing. And I really feel like he was just underappreciated, and he is a guy who wouldn't walk into a bad job where he might think he can fail. He knows exactly what he needs to succeed, and you even look at what he did in Tennessee. He went to an AFC title game in 2019, I think. He had the number 1 overall seed in 2021, and he did that even though he did not have a franchise quarterback. He was winning games with Ryan Tannehill in this great defense that he developed. So you could just kind of feel him sense that, hey, look, if I had a franchise quarterback, I really think I could build something special. He looks at New England, sees what Drake May does his rookie year, and now that job is just too great to pass up, especially because he won a couple Super Bowls there. And so when you think about how brilliant he is from a defensive standpoint and how well his mind works, and now he does have that franchise quarterback, because Drake May is playing out of his mind. I think he's probably playing like a top 7 quarterback this year. You hit the nail on the head. Vrabel can build another dynasty. That's really what it feels like. I mean, we're going into Week 7. The Patriots are already tied for first place in the AFC East, and their schedule is one of the friendliest in the NFL the rest of the season. I think Vrabel is going to be in New England for a long time. I won't be surprised if he has them winning a Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years, 4 years.
John, you mentioned you were in Tennessee. Obviously, just had the coaching change yesterday with Brian Callahan. Why did they not just keep Vrabel at all cost and just give him everything he wanted? How do you let him leave?
Yeah, it was just front office clashing. It was, as you said, Vrabel wanted to be in a spot where everyone was on the same page, and that's not the case in Tennessee. They brought in Rand Carthon, the general manager, got rid of him, and then hired Brian Callahan. It's just been a total mess.
It's a mess.
From ownership to the front office. No one's on the same page with anything. You can go back to the A.J. Brown trade in the draft that one year. I don't know. They had the camera in the Titans war room, and Mike Vrabel was just shocked, just like, what are we doing here? Why are we trading away our best players? And you could really tell that he was not aligned with the vision of the front office. And from there, it just seemed like it was only a matter of time before the two sides parted ways. And after they went 6-11 in 2023, that really gave Tennessee an excuse to get rid of him. But I am sure that Amy Adams Strunk, the owner, probably regrets that move now, because the one thing, if you're firing a coach, you got to know that you can upgrade. And there's no way the Titans thought they were going to upgrade over Vrabel at that point.
No, not at all. Great stuff as always, buddy. Always enjoy the conversation. Thanks for your time.
Yep, thanks for having me, Bill.
All right, there he goes, John Breech, NFL writer and reporter on the national scene at CBS Sports. Jackets, a 3-game homie. Game 1 was last night, Avs on Thursday. But listen to this. Hockey is back, and the Jackets take on the Avs this Thursday. Tampa Bay on Saturday at Nationwide. We're giving away 2 tickets to Saturday's game against the Lightning right now at 821-9710. If you're nice to Bake when he picks up, you get the tickets. It's completely on you, Bake. If they're not nice and kind to you, no tickets.
Oh, I'm going to be a tough judge.
Kindness to Bake gets you the tickets, and you can get your tickets now at bluejackets.com. We'll get you 3 things on a Tuesday up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. Looking back at the game at Illinois, getting 3 turnovers, certainly a big plum for the defense, but offensively, avoiding turnovers from a team that had been forcing them, that a good thing?
Yeah, we all know turnovers are a huge part of the game, and so we go through situations during the week, talk about that, and then after the game, kind of do a debrief and go through all the different situations, and certainly one of the biggest ones, and the one that we focus on the most is turnovers. So on offense, on Tuesdays, it's a big area of emphasis in ball security. So a lot comes into that. Certainly everybody who touches the ball, how we teach our ball security, the quarterback, the center. Everybody has to understand how important the ball is. And then on defense, we call it CPR, club, punch, and rip, an opportunity to create turnovers. So for us, when we get turnovers like we did in the game Saturday, the chances of us winning go through the roof. We start going through the third down, the red zone, all these different situations. But nothing more important than turnovers. And to go on the road against a team like that and to win the turnover battle, like we did 3-0, your chances of winning go through the roof.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Light Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
Ryan, I have to ask you about the play of Jermaine Matthews. He moves because of injury from his normal outside corner position to the nickel. Just some thoughts, not only because he helped force 2 turnovers, but just that switch and being able to do that.
Yeah, and that's versatility. We've talked about this in the preseason. And, when you can play multiple positions, it really helps with depth, which we all know is going to get challenged here in the second half of the season. But give Jermaine credit, Coach Walton, the guys, in the back end coming together. And when Lorenzo went down, we were able to make that move. And then Devin went outside, and guys were able to play at a high level. Playing inside is different. Everything moves a little faster, but he was able to get his hands on that one ball to create the turnover, and then he got the sack fumble. So a lot of production. Jermaine's become a huge part of our defense.
It's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Around here, it's all or nothing, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In the spirit of Halloween, Awaken 180 is offering free consultations. Learn how scary fast and how scary easy losing weight can be. For mine, I brought all the questions, and in the end, Awaken 180 was an absolute no-brainer for me. Determine if Awaken 180 is right for you. The free consultations end October 31st. Reserve by phone only at 844-346-1800. For details and the number, visit awaken180weightloss.com. Scary easy with scary fast results.
Everybody poops.
Everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have in the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, who do you think is most likely to be the next head coach at Penn State? Your three options are South Florida's head coach and Dublin Scioto and Ohio State alum Alex Golesh, Kurt Cignetti, Matt Rule, or other. Someone said Greg Schiano. 55% say it's going to be Matt Rule. 14% say Kurt Cignetti. 20% say other, but the only other commented was the Schiano man, and 10% for Golesh.
I saw On3 reporting that they would take a swing at Marcus Freeman. I asked Dami about that on Tuesdays with Tiberi, like, what's the better job, Notre Dame or Penn State? He said Notre Dame, and I think that that's fair. Marcus seems to have making that part of his identity, Notre Dame, and you see what they're doing in recruiting. I think it's probably right, but I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus ended up becoming very, very wealthy as a result of this. Because if Penn State starts calling, that means Notre Dame's got to up the ante a little bit, and my hunch is they'll do it very, very quickly in short order. So something to watch for there. We played the Matt Rule bite from earlier. He didn't sound like a guy who would say no. I know he says he's committed to Nebraska, but he didn't sound like a guy who would say no to his alma mater. He spoke pretty glowingly about it. So something to certainly pay attention to there. All right, time for three things on a Tuesday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number one for me, as I mentioned earlier in the show, the 8th grader, the 13-year-old NBC, was on his way to D.C. today, the 8th grade trip, so he'll be back, I think, Thursday night late. My wife was in classic panic mother hen mode. I was a little bit too, he's never kind of just been away from us like that for that long, so he's going to, it's not like he's unsupervised, but it was a lot of notion of like, hey, do the right things, all of this, and she was so worried about it, and I finally said to her, I'm like, we have to trust that we raised him right and that he'll make the right decisions that's the whole thing with parenting. We have to trust we have to raise him right. And she looked at me, she goes, well, do you think we did? I guess we'll see. If we get a call and say you got to come to D.C. to pick the moron up, then I guess that's what we'll have to do, and then we'll know that we didn't. But I have faith that we did. So the last thing I said, I didn't say anything about behavior. I just said have fun, buddy. So I think that he did. He's got to be pretty close to there now, as they left at 5:45 this morning.
First thing for me, and we'll have some more on this tomorrow, but Amanda Kristovich of Front Office Sports is reporting officials from USC and Michigan are going to be meeting later today to discuss the Big Ten's proposed investment from a California pension fund. She can confirm some officials from the two schools have major concerns, as first reported by Yahoo Sports. So that's a good thing if you're looking for Ohio State and the Big Ten to run away from private equity.
Hoping they do. You don't need to do that. If you're Ohio State, you're Michigan, you're USC, you don't need that.
First thing for me, Bo, you mentioned this yesterday and then talked about it again this morning. Opening nights are undefeated.
They're awesome.
Like, I got down there yesterday in the Arena District just a little before 5. It was already packed. The plaza was full. Went over and hung out with AR and Jen and everybody at the fan tent for a little bit. AR did some giveaways, probably about 5:20, and I mean, it was packed around the tent.
So
like,
cool.
People just came over, get inside, and people in their seats early already. The introductions, the place was packed. I think 18,627 in there last night. The only thing that was missing was a Jackets win, but opening nights are great.
Yeah, that's it. It's one of 82, so you can't make a big deal about it, but it's just one that sucks to lose. Yeah. Like, you want to let those 18,000 plus walk away happy, because everything else, boxes checked, get the win, and then you have the perfect night.
Everybody has hope on opening night.
Everybody does, yeah, no matter what. Number 2 for me, so one of the interesting developments from the 11-year-old Beamsy has been this. So he's the one that will, like, for example, he will say his favorite food is salmon, and we'll go to dinner, and he'll order it almost every time. And I don't know if he actually likes it or he's so pot committed to it that he can't reverse out of it. So over the weekend, he hit me with this. And the boys are like me, so the thing they consume the most of is college football. And I don't mind them rooting for other teams around the country. So they all kind of have a favorite team in a conference. He goes, "Dad, I think I'm gig 'em. I love A&M." I go, "Dude, that's a choice." And he's like, "What do you mean?" So I pulled up the yell leaders. You guys have seen these guys. Gig 'em, Aggies, gig 'em, all that stuff. Let's go, Aggies, blah, blah, blah. So I showed the yell leaders in their overalls. Now, I don't know if I can possibly believe this, but he loved it. I go, "You love this? Are you sure? If you love that, then it might be the place for you, because I don't know I can't make sense of that, pal."
It's a cult.
It feels like it.
And now, cults sometimes have appeal.
God, keep him away from Kool-Aid.
I mean, there's those boots that they wear that they get fitted for. That's a choice.
Those overalls?
Yeah, the whole thing. Speaking of not great, Walmart's partnering, and I read this at a TechCrunch. Walmart is partnering with OpenAI to let shoppers buy products directly through ChatGPT. The new integration will allow users to link their Walmart accounts, browse items, and instantly check out, all within the chatbot.
I got to tell you, am I the only one that's like, are we sure we need to be doing all of this?
No.
We all have the common sense to say this isn't right, don't we? I feel like...
Not all of us, but I'm with you on this. This does not need to be a thing.
No.
I mean, McDonald's tried AI ordering at their windows and went away from it, and now Wendy's is like, it's going to work. Who cares? Let's do it. It's ridiculous. Also ridiculous, fights at sporting events. I saw the pictures going around from the Commanders game last night, and all these fights way up in the nosebleeds. Some of my best times at sporting events have been the away fan and interacting with the home team and, some fun ribbing, but it was all good. Can we be grown up, please? Stop fighting at sporting events. There's more important things in the world.
And oftentimes they're fighting their people that are rooting for the same team you are. You're all in it together. Drunk in public is a problem that we have. Bombed in public is a problem that we have.
Ron White tried to tell us.
He tried. Ronnie always knows. If all else fails, listen to Uncle Ron. Youth Travel Hoops, number 3 for me, started last night, and it hit me that from now until the end of February, I'll be spending 6 hours a week in the gym. And every weekend we'll have games. So that's what I've signed up for. I love it, but it started last night, which feels very early, and goes all the way until the end of February. So that's my next few months.
Final thing for me out of the corrections department, it looks like Acrisure is getting their stadium turf replaced this weekend.
Is that the Three Rivers place?
That's
what they call it.
Where I guess Mike Tomlin spoke after the game that he was not thrilled with how it was for their game against the Browns, but knew that it was going to be done in the future. Stop waiting so long to get turf replaced.
Yeah.
Take the average span of it, or however long you had expected it, shave a month off of that, replace it before then.
Final thing for me, hear from your head coach, Ryan Day. Coming up next, it's the Ryan Day press conference. Then stay tuned for Rothman and Ice in studio at 1 o'clock. They will have the first Blue Jackets draft pick ever, Rostislav Klesla.
Oh, wow, that's fun. Hopefully AR does his impression of Doug McClain announcing the pick, because that's always undefeated. We're back tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio's